Rock is different. He ain't invited to the fucking barbecue no more.
People in the live chat can't say I don't know what I'm talking about when I'm holding this. If you want to be the best, you gotta beat the best. That is me, the best one, Donnie.
This is Ricky Knows Best, and you are watching We Are Wrestling.
Chris Jericho here. We're going to listen to and watch We Are Wrestling.
We Are Wrestling is going live.
We are live. Are you tired of being in a rush after working a 9-to-5 job just to catch the We Are Wrestling podcast live?
Hey, yo, where the hell is everybody?
Sometimes we lose track of time. Hey, we're wrapping up.
It's a new era of the We Are Wrestling podcast.
What's going on, We Are Wrestling Maniac? Got some news.
Just want to let you guys know that the We Are Wrestling podcast is officially moving to Thursdays starting June 4th.
The We Are Wrestling podcast is moving to Thursdays starting June 4th.
We Are Wrestling podcast is moving to Thursdays.
What's up, We Are Wrestling? We Are Wrestling is going to move to Thursdays starting June 4th.
Be ready.
The We Are Wrestling podcast is officially moving days. Instead of Wednesdays at 5 p.m., it's going to be now on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. Tune in. June 4th.
Be there with Donnie, Ben, Danny, and even myself sometimes, your future Thunder champion.
At 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope to see you guys there.
At 6 p.m. EST. Hope to see you guys there. Don't miss it.
6 p.m. I don't need to miss out on an episode.
There's no more excuses. You have enough time to get home, eat your dinner, and join us live.
Cheers.
The We Are Wrestling podcast is taking over YouTube every Thursday starting June 4th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific.
Yo, the We Are Wrestling podcast is moving to Thursday starting June 4th. You are
Olympic hero Kurt Angle, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Yo, listen. This is the best wrestler alive, Platinum Max, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Hey everybody, Eric Bischoff here, and you are listening to We Are Wrestling podcast.
Hello everyone, this is Nunzio, former WWE Cruiserweight Champion, and you're watching We Are Wrestling podcast.
We Are Wrestling podcast. Check them out, man.
Stay tuned. Listen to the podcast. Best one, Donnie might teach you a thing or two.
We Are Wrestling.
All right, Chris Jericho here, and we're going to listen to and watch We Are Wrestling.
And if you don't listen to it, then it's one-on-one with The Undertaker. We Are Wrestling.
What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host with the most, Mr. We Are Wrestling himself, and still, We Are Wrestling Predictions Champion, the best one, Donnie, here with...
What is going on, everybody? Danny Huckins here, man. 1/4 of the We Are Wrestling podcast. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us today, man. We got a stacked show. That's all I got to say. We got a stacked show. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And the only reason this motherfucker is still the champion is because I was not on the predictions stream.
Well, that's because you got your ass kicked during WrestleMania 42, Night 1 and Night 2.
That's because I did not take my time and go over, like, the entire match card. I was just, for whatever reason, I was just so stoked about the weekend, man. I just fucking rushed it. So, you know, I pretty much... WrestleMania fucking sucked, bro. Fuck WrestleMania.
Well, you know what James Storm always said? Sorry about your damn luck. That's right. We got a stacked episode for all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there. Episode 208. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already and you're listening to this episode wherever you get your podcast, that's right. There's people that listen to this audio-wise. Leave us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download this episode and give us a follow. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already over on the YouTube channel where you get the best pro wrestling content live episodes of the We Are Wrestling podcast every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, soon to be Thursdays, starting June 4th. You get live watch-alongs for all the WWE PLEs, AEW pay-per-views, reactions, vlogs, so much additional content, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers. We recommend you guys to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications, videos and live streams be coming out of nowhere like an RKO. And of course, you already know the grind is real.
I feel like the Young Bucks when I do this, man. Just do the fucking the side thing. Super Cake Party. Hey, motherfucker, I am champion. Look at this. I'm the United States champion. I'm almost as good as Trick Williams, man.
As long as you don't got a gingerbread man, I'm rooting for you.
I should get a gingerbread man. Just put him right here next to my PC, right on my desk.
Oh man, awful stuff. Like you would think that Vince is in the office writing for SmackDown right now.
What was worse, the gingerbread man or fucking when Triple H, did the unmentionable with that the corpse inside the coffin?
Huh?
You don't remember that? What was her name? I can't remember her name. It was when he was feuding with Kane back in the Ruthless Aggression era.
Oh,
Katie Vick.
Yeah, that was some pretty bad stuff
So
too.
what was worse, Katie Vick or the gingerbread man?
I don't know. I really hate the gingerbread man, Danny. We had a lot of funerals in WWE, but we got to show some love to some of the We Are Wrestling Maniacs that are here with us right now. We got Destry here in the live chat. We got Dakota. Happy Wednesday. Cheers. I just took a blinker off my Meds Mountain Dew cart, and the grind is real. Absolutely. Josh Toy Show. What's up, Donnie and Donnie? I didn't know your name was Donnie. And we got the Sean here in the live chat as well over on Facebook. We got Dan the Man. What's up, Donnie and Danny? Hope all is well. No more fucking gingerbread man. Agree.
Dan, what's going on, brother? Look forward to seeing you at the Luau.
Oh, cannot wait for the Luau, which we might as well talk about it real quick before we get into the power of the poll, because we got some breaking news here, which this is going a little off track because I am going to be talking about the Luau when we do our little segues. But breaking news, former NXT star Dante Chen is going to be at the 8th annual Blitzkrieg Luau happening on Saturday, July 27th.
It's literally June 27th. This literally just got posted like 2 minutes before we went live.
And also, Joe Gacy is going to be a part of the next Blitzkrieg show happening on Saturday, August 8th.
Yes,
and that just came out as well.
I can't wait, man. And can we talk about the fucking main event of the Luau, June 27th? You guys can watch if you guys are in the Connecticut, Mass area, New York, whatever. Come to Enfield, Connecticut, man, because it's going to be huge. We got Charles Mason defending the Blitzkrieg Bedlam Championship against TNA superstar Bear fucking Bronson, bro. This is going to be match of the night, and and it's not just because we're sponsoring it, but literally these two dudes are going to tear the house down.
Charles Mason, he's got a scary opponent because Bear Bronson right now has a lot of momentum going on, and he might pick up that momentum on Saturday, June 27th.
Bear Bronson, one half of the TNA Tag Team Champions with Brian Myers, beat the Hardys, so he has a lot of momentum going into this match. Now I want to ask you from just like a fan's point of view, like legitimately, not, a work or whatever, like a 100% shoot. Do you think Bear Bronson is going to take the title off of Charles Mason? Or do you think Charles Mason has a lot of momentum to where he can like just carry on as champion?
Dude,
I feel like Charles Mason is one of the best stars not signed to an actual company.
Agree with you 100%. And I've been very high on him. First time I ever saw him was in Hartford, Connecticut when I went to my first GCW show with my fiance. And he was one of the guys that really stood out to me. And I've been like watching him ever since, going to Blitzkrieg, going to House of Glory, just going all over the place. I've been watching Charles, and I love what he's been doing. He's got Andy Brown by his side, so I could see, unless Bear Bronson's got the system and they're making a surprise appearance and helping him out here, I don't know.
Could you imagine Brian
might
Myers
feel-
shows up unexpectedly? Like we don't know. Like even though you're
is
friends
from
with Jeremy
Long
or
Island.
whatever, he's not gonna tell us. So like I'm just
You never
saying,
know.
man.
You never know, but I think that's the only way Bear Bronson's gonna win the championship is if he has some backup. That's the only way, because Mason, dude, he's been getting away with some cheating ever since aligning himself with Mr. Andy Brown. Which, guys, if you want to know what we're talking
Brown is
about a little
great.
bit more and you don't watch Blitzkrieg Pro, go over to IWTV, go watch the full show from last time, or you can even catch the vlogs, because I think we do a really good job at keeping up with the storylines and stuff. And we do post on the social medias as well, a lot more now. So guys, telling you, Blitzkrieg Pro, if you're looking for a good independent wrestling company to support and watch, there's nobody better right now than Blitzkrieg Pro.
Also, two other people I do want to mention really quick. I mentioned them on my stream actually last week. We got to talk about Sammy Diaz and we got to talk about DBS Cast, man. Holy shit.
Well, we talked about him last week, but I'll let you give your thoughts.
Match of the night at the last Blitzkrieg show. Like, I feel bad for everybody that had to follow it because there was no following that match. That match, in my own humble opinion, had nothing to do with the love of everybody else involved. But I feel like that match should have been the main event. Or at least close to it. It should have been that match, and then it should have been Charles Mason and Javi.
Oh, I do want to read the live chat real quick. We got Dan the Man, who is a regular Blitzkrieg faithful, in here, and here's what he's saying. That's a tough one. I think Charles keeps it. Something happens where he cheats, the referee doesn't see it. Well, they better have Gina officiating that, because I don't want to see no Will Dojo in there.
Bro, we got bro. You guys are gonna want to check out the new Blitzkrieg vlog.
We did play the clip last week.
You guys are gonna want to check out the new vlog. Comes out this Friday, man.
Josh Choi show in the live chat. Mason is one of the best indie wrestlers out there right now. He is.
How this guy is not signed is beyond me.
Criminal.
Like, this dude is just so fucking. You would think that Tony Khan, as big of a wrestling fan as he is, he would throw the fucking bank truck up to this guy's house to fucking sign this guy.
All right. Well, we do have another match, because we'll just talk about the Blitzkrieg stuff and just go through it real quick before
I'm down.
we get into our.
We don't talk about it as much as we should, seeing as we're like one.
Well, I did say going all the way up to the luau, we are going to keep everybody updated with what's happening. So another match did get announced. Our buddies Inside the Mark podcast, they're sponsoring this one. The Fan Bring the Pool Toys, Mr. Bobby Orlando versus Dr.
Redacted.
And this is it's going to be a bloodbath, this one.
Bobby Orlando, man. Phenomenal talent. Dr. Redacted, I'm not as familiar with him, but I do believe he wrestles for like GCW or whatever. He's like a death match wrestler or whatever.
He is.
I do it, obviously, by the picture. I do expect there to be blood. If you guys have not, highly recommend you guys sign up. IWTV. It's the same amount as what the WWE Network costs, $9.99, and you'll be able to watch every Blitzkrieg Pro show for available live. If you guys are not able to make it to the show, you guys are not going to want to miss the luau. It's going to be awesome.
Also, quick plug, guys, if you haven't checked out the latest Blitzkrieg Pro vlog, WWE Fan Goes to Indie Show 2, you can watch this guy wrestle Bear Bronson, and Rod Money got pushed by him during his entrance. It is great. And that thumbnail right there of Rod Money, that's his reaction when he got pushed by Dr.
Well, it looks like Dr. Redact is not making it to the fucking cookout.
All right. Yeah, I don't think so, man. Yep. No barbecue for him. But we did get some also more announcements. We already know Izzy's going to be there. Bailey's #1 fan. She's been killing it in the indies.
Saw a lot on NXT Black and Gold.
We got GCW. Effie is going to be in the house. Also, Gabby Forze. She's going to be back. Bear Bronson's wife. We got TNA Knockout. Harley Hudson making her return. Notorious BB. WWID. She's going to be in the house. Also, we got
this guy's a monster.
Brody King's cousin here, Ox Adams, entering the Mother of All Scrambles, which is like their big Royal Rumble match. Crazy shit happens. And also, we might as well plug all the vlogs we have up on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. We are going to be making a playlist later on this week, and we will tag it in the upcoming episodes all the way up to the luau. If you guys want to see what this show is all about, this is Blitzkrieg's biggest show of the year. We just have so much content through the years with the luau, and there's just, man, so much great stuff. Even Donovan Dijak a couple years ago made his independent wrestling return at the freaking luau, which is nuts. We did have a little bit to do with that. But also, there's our 2025 vlog from last year. What a freaking show, man.
It was fucking hilarious. Crow making Dan's friend or whatever fucking get tables, and then fucking somebody from Blitzkrieg was like, "Hey man, calm down." He's like, "I got it. Look at this guy's fucking yelling."
It's such good footage, man. Such good shit. And we will be vlogging for the Blitzkrieg Luau as well if you guys don't want to watch it on IWTV, even though we do recommend it. IWTV, you guys really got to give us like a code here to help some of the We Are Wrestling Maniacs.
I know, man.
But
you gotta.
There's a lot of big things happening over at Blitzkrieg, but now let's get into the We Are Wrestling power of the poll.
Rod Money is a legend. I have yet to meet him. I surprisingly enough, so I'm meeting him for the first time at the luau. So you guys, we're gonna get that on camera.
Absolutely. We got Chevy here in the live chat. We are Wrestling member Bradley here.
Bradley,
love the members. We love all the members. But it's time to get into our power of the poll. If you guys don't know, which you should know, every Wednesday we post a brand new power of the poll over on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel in our community tab. And last weekend was Mother's Day weekend. So we wanted to ask you guys, who's the best mother character in all of pro wrestling? And here are the results for this week's power of the poll. All right, there it is, man. Shelton Benjamin's mom wins with 65%, while 19% of you guys picked Nick Wayne's mom. I'm assuming 19% of you think that she's hot. Third place, we got Buff Bagwell's mom, Judy, 9%. And then we got Trent's mom at 7%. So, do we agree with this week's power of the poll?
Part of me agrees. Shelton Benjamin's mother, I feel like, is a little bit more iconic than the rest of them or whatever. But I mean, Trent Beretta, you can't really go wrong with his mom. What's her name? Like Suzanne or something like that.
Stu.
They made an action figure of her with the minivan.
They didn't. They were supposed to.
Oh, they didn't end up making it? I thought they were.
It was in production, but then they canceled it. Hurt my feelings.
It's kind of probably why it's not on the shelf behind you. But yeah, I agree, because like Shelton Benjamin is like, this was a little bit after the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era. Shelton Benjamin came in, he was red hot around that time, and it was just hilarious, and a lot of the backstage stuff with Shelton Benjamin's mother was just fucking iconic as shit. So
I remember her sticking the needle in Val Venus's ass on Sunday Night Heat.
I mean, look at that. Fucking 20-some years ago, and you remember something that happened on Sunday Night Heat. Congratulations. That's how iconic the whole storyline was.
Yeah, so for this week's power of the poll, I do see why people pick Shelton Benjamin's mom, probably because it was more of like a hotter time for people to watch, at least in our demographic of viewers of We Are Wrestling Maniacs. And I think, Daddy, you froze. All right, well, Daddy froze here, so I'm going to just take things over here real quick while he figures out what's going on. So what I was going to say was, I feel like Judy deserves more love, man. Buff Bagwell's mom, that's who I picked for this week's power of the poll. And I always tell you guys, like, when we do post these, oh, here we go. I think Daddy's back. Hey, you're back. Welcome
back.
I'm
back, man.
But yeah, dude, Judy Bagwell, that's who I picked here because I did watch WCW. And I always tell the Maniacs every week, before you vote, because you have a whole week, go watch some of this stuff. Refresh your mind a little bit. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Bradley. Nothing compares to Judy Bagwell in a forklift match.
I have never seen that. See, I was like, I watched whatever that WCW show, I think it was on Wednesdays, I think, because I'd watch Raw on Mondays, and then I would watch Thunder on Wednesdays, and then Thursdays was SmackDown around that time. So
Yeah,
I was never like a huge WCW guy back then. Like back then, like we didn't have streaming, so it's not like I could watch Raw and then go back and instantly watch, you know, what happened on Nitro or whatever. So a lot of that stuff I just missed.
Yeah, so Judy Bagwell, that's who I had because I love the stuff that they did with the whole Buff Bagwell and Rick Steiner feud. Nick Wayne's mom, I love that she got 19% because she's been doing a great job with Nick Wayne. Just wish like they would do this more on Dynamite and not Ring of Honor, just because I don't want to pay for Honor Club. Even though the free stuff that they've been posting on the AEW and Ring of Honor YouTube channel, it's actually been some pretty good shit. Like,
bro, they gotta just utilize fucking YouTube, man.
Agree. Stop with the 2-minute highlights too. But Trent's mom getting 7%. I'm assuming the 7% probably watched BTE, which, man, the one thing that really stands out to me with Sue, I don't know if you ever watched this episode of BTE, but they would do dark
BTE.
Well, dude, they do these like Dark Order skits, and Brody Lee used to be a part of them.
Yeah, I know that.
Wait, have you ever seen the clip with Sue's mom and Brody Lee? I'm gonna find it.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna find it because it isn't AEW related, so we won't get copied.
You see, BT, like once I found out that it was more like sketches instead of like just like vlogs or whatever, I sort of like I got out of it and I stopped watching. I'm just not into that kind of. It's like fucking Saturday Night Live and shit like that. Like I don't give a fuck about that. Like I want to show me what it's like in a day in your life. Is like for somebody like that's looking inside of like what the life of a pro wrestler is. Like that's what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in fucking sketch comedy and shit like that.
No, that's like I totally understand that. I do.
You know who is taking over YouTube and he needs more subscribers because his content's fucking awesome?
Who?
Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher's doing some great stuff over there.
I do have it. Brody Lee, he sure is missed. He is.
All right, so I do have it here. Let me just exit out of this real quick. We're gonna pull this up. I do have it shared. So, guys, this is why Trent's mom, Sue, is a legend.
I don't think there's anything wrong with liking feet.
You know, I kind of agree. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm more of a belly button man myself.
Hey! What the fuck are we talking about?
I was talking about navels.
We're talking about navels and feet? You feet pervert!
Nothing wrong with
what the fuck?
I think Dark Order's on Ring of Honor.
Bullshit!
I can't believe they're still signed.
Who got papers? What are you talking about, you little bitch? Did someone say, little bitch?
Oh, shit.
I miss Brody Lee. Bigaboo.
Fuck! You put him down. Put him down. I'm not looking up. Put him the fuck down.
Put him down!
This was such a good character for Brody Lee, man, doing the Vince McMahon thing.
Where the fuck did you get that jacket?
I do your dry cleaning, so I thought I'd...
Wait.
Hey, what's going on in
The
there?
legend.
Hi,
Sue!
Oh my God! Say thank you! Say thank you!
Thank you, Stu. Spam that in the live chat. Thank you, Stu.
I love it. Guys, we got lunch. This is great.
Oh, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you kidding me? Fuck!
Oh. What's going on here?
Sue, this motherfucker doesn't like your food.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
This was the best era of BT.
Do it again! Do it again! Do it again! Yeah! Yeah! You better fall the fuck down for Sue. Fall down! Fall down!
There you go. There you go.
This was so good.
He's so hurt. Thank you so much. Yeah, he's dead.
Classic. Yeah, I got to be right back. I got to check on the kiddos real quick, and then.
Good. All right, well, guys, Sue's mom or Trent's mom is a legend. So shout out to the 7% they picked her, but obviously I get why Shelton's mom won. Definitely the most like iconic segment. Oh, dude, so good. Great stuff. But honestly, I do recommend you guys, if you haven't checked out Judy Bagwell or even like Sue's stuff, I would go back and check it out, man. It's some great stuff. But congratulations to Shelton's mom on winning this week's Power of the Poll. If you guys want to go cast your vote for next week's, it is up right now, and we're going back to the late 2000s, early 2010s with this one, because we're asking you guys, which former FCW World Champion was the biggest bust in WWE when they got called up to the main roster? Your 4 options you have are Leo Kruger, formerly known as Adam Rose, Alex Riley, Bo Dallas, or Mason Ryan. So if you guys want to let your voices be heard, go cast that vote. You have 1 week exactly to vote on this week's Power of the Poll. And man, FCW, some underrated stuff. So if you guys probably are assuming, if you never watched FCW, you're probably thinking, hold on a minute. Adam Rose, Alex Riley, Bo Dallas, and Mason Ryan held world championships. Yeah, man, they were going to be built as big stars in the 2010s, but of course, things come up. But there it is, man. Which one out of these 4 were the biggest bust? And then, of course, if you guys haven't checked out the We Are Wrestling Podcast Extra, Rage and myself, we did a review on Hulk Hogan's Netflix documentary, Real American. So if you guys watched all 4 episodes of the documentary, I would go give this a listen or a watch. It's a great talk. We talked about all 4 episodes, and we even talked about Brooke Hogan's comments about the whole documentary itself. And then, of course, we do have some We Are Wrestling is Unreal shirts available now on ProWrestlingTees.com. Hottest merch in the game. So much different designs up on there. So if you guys want to get yourselves a We Are Wrestling is Unreal shirt, they are available now. And, of course, for vlogs, we do have a couple up on the channel right now if you haven't checked them out. Last Friday, the newest New England Fan Fest 11 vlog is up. Got the opportunity to meet WWE Hall of Famers, Demolition, D.H. Smith, Davey Boy Jr., and Vince Russo himself. So if you guys haven't checked that vlog out, it is up on the channel. Also, WWE Fan Goes to Indie Show Part 2. Highly recommend watching this. We do have a new Blitzkrieg vlog coming out this Friday as well, so stay tuned for that. And of course, the We Are Wrestling podcast is going to be officially moving to Thursdays live starting June 4th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. We really hope that you guys are excited for the move as we are. I think that this is going to be great for everybody involved. It's going to give you guys more time to get home from your 9-to-5 job. And we won't be going into overtime with Dynamite anymore because TNA Impact starts at 9. So you'll have plenty of time to get back and watch Thursday Night Impact.
This is going to be like the TNA Impact pregame, and maybe we can add a new segment on the show to where we go over that night's TNA Impact taping in the card and what we think, what we can expect. Get people excited for that show. Goes live at 9. We'll be done by 8:30. I think it's going to be perfect.
All right. Well, I do want to ask you, Danny, since you were away while I talked about next week's Power of the Poll, since I believe. Are you going to be here next week? Because I forgot.
No, last week was Ben.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
But I think he's on vacation, I think. So, I don't know.
I have no idea.
We'll get your thoughts. I know you'll say it in the live chat or whatever. But a lot of cool things are happening, man, in the We Are Wrestling universe. A lot of cool things. But with that being said, I think it's time we get into our We Are Wrestling highlight of the week. What is your highlight of the week this week in the wrestling world, Daddy? What do you got for us?
Probably something crazy happened on my Backlash stream, man. Fucking Kota Ibushi came into my TikTok chat and started spamming fucking gifts. And went absolutely fucking crazy. And he was like, hey, is this a WWE only stream? And I was like, nah, man, I pretty much, cover and talk about everything, but obviously it was WWE PLE tonight. And he's like, well, next time I stop by, please make sure you guys talk about some AEW, support AEW. I was like, I'll be live for nothing, man.
Kota Ibushi, let's go.
Bro, it's fucking crazy.
That's awesome.
Like Kota, and I know it was him because I stumbled on one of his fucking TikTok lives at one point, like maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, "Oh shit, Kota Ibushi over here fucking TikToking." He can't join my stream, man. Fucking crazy. Like it's just like moments like that. You know what I mean? Like you've had experiences like Santi Zap, fucking massive YouTuber. Santi Zap followed you on Instagram recently. It's like so like being a part of like this community and building our own communities or whatever, and like just having like the kind of following that we have, and just being included and having people like whether we watch people on TV or we watch their YouTube videos and we're a fan of what they do as far as content creation, like having them like in a way acknowledge us and what we do. It's just one of the coolest things on the planet.
I agree. I will say my highlight of the week this week, I'm going to give it to AEW, man. They had a special they did on Saturday, friggin' in a golf course. That was a really, really cool setup. And I actually really enjoyed the Darby Allin versus Pac match that happened. Even though, like, there was no story to it. I know Darby's just been being a good defending champion, like a Darby Allin would do. But, man, I really enjoyed, like, them utilizing, like, that entire space that they had. And I just thought the visuals were just really, really cool. And that's something that I've always loved about professional wrestling is just the visuals and just how unique, like, certain areas and, like, arenas can be. Like, one of the reasons why I think I love TNA wrestling from, like, 2005 to 2009. They had that 6-sided ring. They had the 2 tunnels, like, going from each side of, like, the arena. And, like, man, I just love unique stuff, which might as well, I'll preview it right now. If you guys are not subscribed to the Best One Donnie YouTube channel where I do toy hunts, toy reviews, and stuff, man, I got a big review coming thanks to Malcolm Creators. We got a new stage for the We Are Wrestling Arena, man. Rumble 98. I can only show you that because I don't want to spoil any of it. So that video should be coming out.
He hasn't even showed he hasn't even showed it to me yet.
Haven't even showed it to you. But yeah, my highlight of the week's gotta be them like wrestling in a freaking golf course. I thought that was sick.
Why are lots of wrestlers leaving WWE? A lot of them aren't like willingly leave. They're getting released out of their contract. And like New Day left. We think, obviously we're going to be getting into the Asuka stuff later on, but it's all about knowing your worth at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like if you're say you're at a job, whatever, you've been there for 20 plus years, whatever, and you get that raise and you start making decent money, and then your company turns around and being like, we want to keep you, but we want to give you less money. Like, are you gonna really are you gonna stay, or are you gonna find somewhere else that really could benefit from using you? You know what I mean? Like. So, like, I thought Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, I thought they were lifers, man. But, like, it's all, like Kofi said in his X-Post, man. It's all about knowing your worth. Like, I think they deserved the money that they were making, and TKO didn't see it that way. So, they were like, we're leaving.
Agree. And there's only so much you can do with bad creative, too.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Toy Show in the live chat, my highlight of the week was seeing the new NXT call-up showing what they could prove. Like, Mason Rook. I don't know why I keep botching it.
Rook.
Mason Rook and Evil. I'm not
Naraku.
I'm not even gonna try. All right. Well,
I saw his entrance. I haven't watched NXT or whatever, but I saw Mason sign his contract, and I saw
we're gonna get into that.
Naraku's entrance. I thought, bro, he has a fucking hell of a presentation. Is it true that he's dating, who is it, Kairi Sane, or he's dating somebody on the main roster?
I'm not sure. I never really looked into
because when word came out that he was first going to be signing to WWE, I guess somebody said that he was backstage at WrestleMania like 40 or WrestleMania 41 or whatever, backstage with one of the girls or whatever. He's married or engaged to one of the girls. I don't know.
All right. Well, with that being said, I think it's time we get into our We Are Wrestling TV recap.
Oh, it's EO. Doing pretty good then.
It's time for the We Are Wrestling Podcast weekly TV recap. This is where we talk about the highlights of things that have been happening on wrestling TV because there's so much shows to consume in 2026. This way, we break it down for you guys, some of the highlights that have happened. And we're going to start off with last Wednesday on Dynamite. Darby Allin wants MJF to put his hair on the line for the AEW World Championship at AEW's Double or Nothing. What's your thoughts on MJF, the hair versus title stipulation? What was your thoughts on the way they did this?
Well, I obviously I didn't watch Dynamite or whatever. I had a hard time keeping track of, Dynamite or whatever, especially with the podcast being on Wednesdays or whatever. So I saw the clip and I don't really know if it makes sense. First of all, I'm not that big of a fan of Darby Allin being world champion to begin with. And the fact that, MJF said, he'll pretty much give him anything and, but he wants, his hair. I don't know, it's just kind of weird to me. Well, but not gonna lie, looking at those pictures, man, MJF would look fucking like a badass bald. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, so with MJF too, that's another thing as well. With the hair stipulation, the reason why Darby Allin wants to do this is because MJF is insecure about his hair. It's been clear, a lot of wrestlers that do promo battles with him, they'll always mention turkey, they'll always mention the receding hairline. So Darby Allin knows that, and he basically told MJF, for once in your life, you're not going to get what you want. And that's when, the whole stipulation came in. MJF was saying, I'll give you the Dynamite diamond ring. I'll give you my scarf. I'll give you a suit. I'll give you $1 million. Darby, of course, doesn't want any of that materialistic stuff. Instead, he wants to humiliate MJF. I do like the stipulation for Double or Nothing. I just didn't like how random it was Darby getting the title. But then again, long term, I'm actually okay with it because it was such a Darby way of winning the championship. Just like Mick Foley beating The Rock at that random episode of Monday Night Raw when he won the WWE Championship, WCW. They spoiled it because it was a taped show. Everybody decides to tune out of WCW to go watch it. And it was just one of those things where, if Mick Foley won it, on a big stage or a big pay-per-view, it just wouldn't feel like a Mick Foley victory. That's why, I think it's random. I just don't. What's the payoff? That's really where I'm kind of confused with all of this. Especially MJF getting squashed. I wish that maybe they had a lengthier match or something. Yeah. But overall, I am excited that they are main eventing Double or Nothing.
Yeah, Josh Hoisher said he's gonna be at Double or Nothing. So we sort of mentioned, or I think I might have quickly mentioned something about a month and a half, 2 months ago about something that might be happening around Double or Nothing, whatever, that I was rather excited about. I don't think it's gonna happen though, because we haven't heard back. So I mean, I should probably spoil it because it's obviously not happening. Me and Donnie attempted to get press passes so we could do the post media scrum and bring you guys some of that kind of content or whatever. And we just never heard back. I don't know, maybe we have to find a direct link and for somebody in the future and actually hit up somebody legitimately at AEW and actually talk to somebody face to face. So that we try to do that. We try to make that happen for you, for us, but also for you guys to bring you guys even closer to the action, some more content. But it's just not happening. So
Hey, there's going to be plenty of AEW pay-per-views, plenty of AEW shows that I'm sure we'll get the opportunity to do eventually. But I was going to go to AEW Double or Nothing. I had it planned, but the more we're getting closer, the more I'm kind of like, maybe not this time, only because it is going to be Memorial Day weekend. And basically, I don't have the money right now to travel, staying like overnight somewhere. And then I just don't want to deal with my only day off for my shoot job, being in traffic for, instead of 3 hours, have it be like 6 to 7 hours because everybody's coming home from Memorial Day weekend. So I decided I'm just going to stay here, do a live watch along for all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there. So there will be a watch along here on the channel, and I'm sure you'll be doing one as well over on, on Danny Huckins PW. Well,
Yep.
I am mad I'm going to miss it, and I know I'm going to get so mad sitting here watching all the chaos that's going to be happening because the card's looking great. Well,
I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
But I'm curious to see where this goes from here because I believe the contract signing will be tonight, and then we'll have to wait and see what happens here. I'm excited, though, for them to get a main event match on a pay-per-view.
I might actually, I'm seriously considering watching AEW Dynamite tonight. The thing about AEW Dynamite, and I don't want this to be in like a fucking, like, I don't want to fucking come off like a hater or whatever. It's just, I don't really feel like there's much on the show that's important as far as like, oh my God, you got to watch it, to follow along with what's happening. It's pretty much cut and dry most weeks. It's just, like if you missed last week's episode, just watch tonight and, you won't be lost in what's happening on the show because, it's.
Nah, that's the
Tony
problem.
Khan is a matchmaker. He's not really a storyteller.
That's the problem, though. WWE does a good job at advertising the storytelling because that's the thing about AEW. I feel like if I miss a week and I try to watch it again, it is a lot harder to keep up to date because AEW, they don't really replay what happens on their shows last week because they're going at such a fast pace, like with the show, like getting every match in, getting every spot in. And that's like really where my biggest flaw is with AEW Dynamite. They do the storytelling, but the problem is maybe you got to pump, like you got to hit the brakes a little bit. Like don't be like Jacob Fatu, all gas, no brakes. AEW needs to have like some brakes in there. Like
Tony Khan is all gas and he goes right into a brick wall.
Like you got to have a steady pace. Like I feel like TNA has that perfect pace. WWE is too slow. AEW is too fast. TNA is just right. Well,
And
let's move on.
But
let's move on now to our next TV recap. This one's a quick one. Last Saturday, Mark Davis defeated Jack Perry to win the AEW national title. What's your thoughts on Mark Davis lately? He's been picking up some momentum.
Yeah,
one half of Aussie Open.
He looks a lot. He seems more of a monster than he used to. I remember when him and Kyle Fletcher were with Ospreay. When Ospreay was before he signed and started making random appearances for AEW or whatever before he got signed to a full-time contract. He wasn't much to look at back then, but I just feel like he's sort of like he's been getting taken more serious, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? He just he seems like he's been hitting the gym. He's he used to remind me of like a chemistry teacher. You know what I mean? Like he had like the hair and like he didn't look like he really hit the gym or whatever. He looks like
he looked like a science teacher. I see what you're saying. He looks like some type of teacher, maybe like a history teacher or something.
Yeah. And now he legitimately looks like a pro wrestler. So I mean, shout out to him.
I liked what
he's been putting in work.
I really liked what him and Jake Doyle were doing in the beginning of the year before Jake Doyle suffered that injury. I thought that they could have been a really good like tag team champions. But I do like what he's been doing. I'm glad that because a lot of the times when like a tag team partner gets sidelined, you get lost in the shuffle there. Yep. And I'm glad that Mark Davis is starting to really find his groove. I think he fits perfect in the Don Callis family. Having him go after a national title, it definitely interests me because I, to be honest with you, never cared about this championship. But I do care about Mark Davis, and I've always been a fan of his. And I always like seeing that redemption story because, of course, everybody loves to do the whole when the tag team breaks up, one's Shawn Michaels, the other's Marty Jannetty. And, of course, Kyle Fletcher, that man is very close to being a Shawn Michaels. So Mark Davis, like, it's just been very interesting to see where he's going to go.
His evolution.
His evolution. And I feel like he's really starting to find that singles run. And I'm excited to see what he could do with this championship. And honestly, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to take the belt off of him. Because sometimes there's like certain heels where it's like, you just don't know when they're going to lose the title. And it's like one of those things where like, you're not thinking about in 2026, Mark Davis is going to hold a championship. So it's like when you don't have those expectations, you get more out of it.
Yeah.
So it's like anybody that they put Mark Davis in the ring with, I'm going to go into that match thinking, okay, this guy actually has a chance to take the title off of Mark Davis. So I'm actually really happy with this booking decision.
Yeah, I am too. You know, Don Callis' family is still running wild on AW television.
Bigger than the NWO.
Bro, they're turning into the NWO. Remember the tail end of the NWO? Fucking, they were signing everybody to the NWO. Everybody was in the
Dude,
NWO.
they had a black and white faction versus a Wolfpack faction.
Not
Crazy.
gonna lie, bro. The Wolfpack theme song was fucking goated.
Oh, I have it on my Spotify. I listened to
I still play it in some of my IG stories.
But I also like NWO's original theme too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's move on to the Feds. This past Monday on Raw. Well, actually, the past few weeks, we've seen Maxine Dupree in the background. And recently was seen in Austin Theory's car when he was getting interviewed by Jackie backstage this past Monday on Raw. What's your thoughts on Maxine Dupree possibly joining the Vision?
It has been verified that she is going to be joining the Vision as a female character, which is great because Paul Heyman has never had a female. Like he's had his entire career pretty much, except for maybe ECW, which I was never like a watcher of like the old school ECW or whatever. So I don't know.
No, I don't think he's ever had a client as a girl, except for Becky for a couple weeks.
But like this is gonna be, all new territory for him. But it came out, I think Mike Johnson posted about it. Either that or bodyslam.net. I can't remember. Just something I came across on X. They took Maxine Dupree out of the Alpha Academy because they have no creative plans for the Alpha Academy going forward, which, that's never a good thing. And they didn't want to waste Maxine Dupree's potential, so they're throwing her mixed up with the Vision, which makes me think if she wasn't pregnant, it almost makes me think that we were going to get some kind of like war between the Street Profits and Bianca Belair versus the Vision and Maxine Dupree. But obviously, with the whole pregnancy thing, puts a kibosh to that. There's so many creative plans I have for Bianca Belair, but none of them can come true.
Yeah, dude, I thought she was really going to be making her return at WrestleMania. I love the surprise. I love that. Like,
I thought she was going to get it. I thought she was going to come out and help. I thought she was going to come out and help Rhea Ripley, and they were going to set up a match between her and Jade.
Well, I think we all thought she was going to make her return. We just didn't expect it to be announcing of starting a family, which congratulations to her and her family, because sometimes there are bigger things than pro wrestling.
Because I know on their reality show, they on their reality, I don't know if it's still fucking on or whatever, but whatever the reality show was that Montez and Bianca had. In one of the episodes, they went to the doctors or whatever and had to check up because they talked about like Bianca really wanted to have a baby or whatever. And, they didn't think it was going to be possible. So, I mean, I do know for a long time that's been a discussion that they've been having. So, I mean, congratulations to them,
All right. Well, I want to ask you something before I give my thoughts on this. Did we ever get a backstage segment or something with Maxine either walking away from Otis and Tozawa, or do we get her breaking up with them? Did they ever do that?
No. Oh, and like we haven't even.
That's my fucking problem with WWE.
We haven't even really like Maxine Dupree. It's always been like like, oh, somebody's doing a backstage interview, and way off in the distance, you see, Maxine talking to Theory. Like, we've never had that, like, legitimate interaction between Maxine and the Vision. Like,
imagine your favorite. Imagine your favorite shows. Imagine they just like have like a relationship. Let's say, like you like Degrassi, right? You were a Degrassi fan.
Oh, I love Degrassi, man. Don't fucking.
Okay, so here's a good example. Imagine, because I know you like Sean. He was one of your favorite characters, right?
That's how I was in high school. You want to see what I was like in high school?
All right, let me get to this. So imagine Sean and Emma, right? They're dating. And then all of a sudden, the next couple episodes, they're not in it. And then all of a sudden, Emma's with, I don't know, Jimmy and Shane. Like, that's what WWE Creative be doing, and I don't understand it. It's like, they just get bored, and then, like, it's literally like a fig fed as, like, a kid. Like, Tony Khan, like, what he was doing for years with his booking in AEW. I don't get it. Like, I wish that, like, maybe Alpha Academy got, like, a tag team title match, and then they lost, and then Maxine turned on them. And then that could lead to her and Austin Theory doing the little scenes there, like, weekly, and then get that. Like, I don't like just how random this is. And honestly, they're setting her up for failure doing this.
The thing is, my counterpart on that is, like, and I agree with you. I 100% agree with you, because we've seen Tony Khan do it too, and I can't fucking stand that shit.
Give us context.
But when was the last time we saw Maxine with Tozawa and Otis? It's been a long time. They like
when she was
secretly
a middle title.
They literally like split up, and they've been like, trying their hardest to distance them, thinking that people will forget.
I'm sorry, but I don't like that philosophy of booking, because I do think doing the whole forget method, which has been done in pro wrestling way too many times.
But also, you got to look at it this way.
That's lazy. That is fucking lazy.
Listen to me. Well,
you're not letting me finish.
Listen to me. This past Monday is the closest we've seen to Maxine being with the Vision. Like, all the other weeks that we've seen it, it's always been like way off in the distance. Maxine sitting down in the hallway, and fucking, Austin Theory, like, quickly talking to her, and then they just walk off together. Like, this is the closest we've seen it. So this coming Monday, we could see Maxine Dupree. Maybe she's backstage, like on her phone or whatever, texting somebody. Otis and Tozawa show up, and they could have sort of like the split happen there. I'm gonna give it until Monday. If we don't see anything further, then I'm just gonna be like, well, they don't give a shit. But like this is the closest that we've seen Maxine Dupree like being involved with the Vision. So I'm hoping on Monday we see a backstage segment to where she's maybe on the phone, texting, whatever. She's alone. Otis and Tozawa show up, and maybe Otis and Tozawa get taken out by the Vision, and Maxine Dupree just stands there and does nothing, and then just walks off with Theory or something like that.
Maybe, but like, I don't know, dude. Just, they have a bad track record of doing this.
They do.
Where they just try to pretend that like it never happened, and then we move on. And that's something that I hate, because I love attention to details. I love the little things, because in life, the little things do fucking matter. So like Maxine just randomly doing this without any like rhyme or reason, it doesn't make sense. Now, am I all for her joining the Vision? Absolutely, because that girl looks like a star. She is a star. She has improved so much in the ring. And honestly, with an attitude change, I think that she could definitely really find her footing in professional wrestling. But do I like the way that they're doing this? Absolutely not, because to me, it just feels lazy.
I'll be right back. The wife is calling me real quick.
Yep. Absolutely lazy. But we got Angelo here in the live chat. What's going on, my guy? The Vision are basically dead, so adding Maxine would just kill them more and makes nobody care even more. Very true. But adding a female to the group also could do something there. Watch, she'll join them, and Otis will pop up asking what she's doing, something stupid like that. Exactly. That's lazy. That's lazy, in my opinion. It might set Maxine to join the Vision. To be honest, though, would you really care if she turned on Alpha Academy? Because no one cared about them, so she'll turn and now just disappear. So turn is pointless. It's not pointless because she's been aligned with Otis and Tozawa for years. Look, maybe the majority of the population don't care, but still that storytelling could only develop Maxine into more of a villain because guess what? The casuals, the fans that buy tickets and go to these WWE shows, they love Otis and Tozawa.
They do.
Which is why doing something with Maxine walking away from them during a tag team title match, something like that, would just give her more heat. And that's what you need if you're a part of the Vision. You need to have that crowd.
Maybe
heat.
it happens. But
so it's
also,
lazy. What they're doing is fucking lazy.
But also, you could look at it this way. Who was Maxine feuding with a lot, a couple months ago?
Becky.
Who is Becky married to?
Seth.
Who is Seth feuding with? Who is Seth trying to get rid of?
Braun Breaker.
In the Vision. Maxine Dupree joining the Vision. It's not that hard. It's not hard to figure out what they're doing.
Yeah, but then again, we all had speculations of Austin Theory helping Seth Rollins because of their relationship. WWE is just lazy when it comes to the booking here.
Like I said, I'm gonna give him till Monday. This past Monday was fucking awful.
Yes, Angelo. Hold on a minute. Yes. Why not bring Jordan on Raw? Instead, they ain't doing shit with her, and she fits the Vision more than Maxine. Agree.
They probably see more.
They need a powerhouse. They need some muscles in there besides Braun Breaker. And right now, Bronson Reed's out.
You over here looking like you have fucking dial-up internet, man.
Oh.
They might see more potential in Maxine Dupree because I do feel like for somebody that's only been wrestling for fucking 2 years, I do feel like she's improved. Especially seeing as WWE doesn't got rid of house shows, so she can't even fucking do live events to get any better. Like I do kind of feel like she's a lot better than Jade Cargill. So that's saying something.
Hey, I'm not hating on Jade Cargill since her match at WrestleMania. It was actually very good.
One good match out of how many?
But you see here, I don't want to talk about her right now. But I do want to know too. I am curious to see if they're gonna do a little love angle here with Austin Theory and Maxine. If they're gonna be paired up on screen as a relationship, because I do think that would help Austin Theory and her out a lot. Because it did work with Liv Morgan and Dom. It worked out with Dom and Rhea. So I do want to see more on-screen relationships.
I've always felt like Maxine Dupree should be a heel. For whatever reason, I just the whole babyface stick and her coming out with the fucking singlet and all she needs to get rid of that shit. She needs to be a legitimate heel. I just feel like that'll do something. And it'll help her develop a character more. She
also was a former NFL cheerleader too. Go into that background a little bit.
Exactly. And what is one thing you
blonde
hear?
Hair. She's got the good looks.
What is one thing you hear about cheerleaders when you're in high school? They sleep with the football players and they're fucking assholes, all the fucking geeks. So, I feel like it'll be a natural fit for her to be a heel. To be she's pretty. She's got the looks. She's got the body.
James All Day makes a good point here. She was a heel with the Maximum Male bottles, and it actually worked for her. That is true.
You. So,
true.
I'm gonna give it to Monday to see what they do. Obviously they're working her more into the story.
All right. Well, let's move on now to our last We Are Wrestling TV recap. Last night, this past Tuesday on NXT, we heard Mason Rook speak for the first time, signing his NXT contract. And it seems like he's been getting a lot of heat online with the IWC. What's your thoughts so far on Mason Rook?
I think he's a badass. He's big, he's bad, he'll body slam your dad. That's all I got to say. And one thing that I wrote in the group chat earlier today, I don't know if you saw it or not, but did you know they got his theme song from the WWE 12 video game?
I did.
I saw that on X earlier, and I was like, that's kind of interesting.
You want to know what's funny?
What?
I use that song for my creative player. Dead ass. I actually like the song though.
Mason Rook, like, I don't know much about the guy.
Better than what Def Rebel can make.
I know. I mean, I'm interested in what he does. I don't know much about the guy. Like, I've never heard of him up until this point. Like, I've never seen any matches with him or whatever. I saw him do some kind of like power bomb. He like picks the guy up and like flips him and then does like a power bomb. Whatever. He does some kind of thing there.
He does a lot of cool shit.
I'm interested, you know. A lot of people's criticism is, oh, you know, he's just a fat white guy that, you know.
Oh, his gut came out when he did a moonsault in his debut.
I mean, bro, if he can do that shit, there's a chance for me and you. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, us fat guys need somebody to look up to.
Agree, but here's the thing too. If every single superstar or professional wrestler looked the same, we would not be watching pro wrestling. Some of the greatest wrestlers of all time have stood out. Whether it was Bam Bam Bigelow with his freaking flame tattoo on his bald head, or just Andre the Giant just being this larger than life, eighth wonder of the world.
Yep.
Every wrestler needs to stand out on their own. And if everybody was just in shape, I'm sorry to say this, but it would be boring to watch the product. Some of my favorite wrestlers throughout the years were bigger guys. One of them being Samoa Joe, who always stood out to me because he was somebody that was so advanced for
King Kong Bundy.
King Kong Bundy, another good one. But just in general, I love this look for Mason Rook because he doesn't look like anybody else on the WWE main roster. He doesn't look like anybody else in that Performance Center or even on NXT or Evolve or LFG. He stands out, and I think that's what I really like the most about him. And I do think that he's imitating. I actually do like the frosted. Like, I like that they got rid of the mullet there, and he has like the frosted tips, has that like 2000s like hairstyle. And also, like, I love like the promo he cut this past Tuesday. Like, he made it clear what he is doing in NXT, and he is the best pro wrestler Eddie Wade. And that stuck with me, those words, Eddie Wade.
You know what I would honestly do if I was WWE and booking this guy? I don't know if you do it right now, but if Obafemi keeps up with this open challenge, I would have Mason Rook answer the open challenge,
make an appearance,
and like I would not have him win because obviously, like, you know, Oba still has to be that dominant force, whatever. But I would have him either powerbomb or do some kind of like big like muscle move on Obafemi or whatever. And even if he does lose, that'll still be impressive and people will still get behind him.
For sure. I'm a big fan of what he's been doing so far. And honestly, he's doing exactly what WWE wants here. Because guess what? Whether you're talking about him in a good light or a negative light, everybody is talking about him.
Including Cena.
And all the main roster call-ups that have happened since the beginning of 2026, we all thought that NXT was just dead in the water. But Mason Rook, everybody's talking about him, good or bad. And guess what? Any type of publicity is good publicity. And I think that Mason Rook, wait till people start seeing the unique movesets that he has. He's going to become a fan favorite in no time.
If you shaved your beard and frosted your hair, you would kind of look like him, not even going to lie.
Probably.
Halloween costume for October.
But I do think that Mason Rook, he has a very bright future, and that's a video that I am thinking about like diving more into his career and like talking about him a little bit more, shedding some more positive light on him because I don't.
He's from the UK.
I don't like the trend of all this negative crap. So I might have to make a video on.
Bro,
Mason Rook
I've said it once. I've said it a million times, man. The most negative fan base on the planet, the most toxic fan base on the planet is pro wrestling fans.
Agree.
Being involved with it, you know, we're on social media all the time. Like we're podcasters or whatever involved with it. Like we know how, like we say one wrong, we say, you know, it's good that Cody Rhodes lost or Randy Orton lost at WrestleMania, and people will be after us with pitchforks. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, whatever you say, a lot of our clips that go viral on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or even X, which if you guys aren't following, We Are Wrestling on there, go give us a follow. A lot of those will get some troll comments in there saying like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You suck." And it's like everybody
our
just
wrestling is
has
almost
their
like
own opinion.
politics, bro.
It is. But I think it's time that we get into the Backlash review. What do you say?
Let's get into it, man.
But before we do that, we do have an update about the We Are Wrestling podcast moving to Thursdays. Are you tired of being in a rush after working a 9-to-5 job just to catch the We Are Wrestling podcast live?
Hey, yo, where the hell is everybody?
Sometimes we lose track of time. Hey, we're wrapping up.
It's a new era of the We Are Wrestling podcast.
What's going on, We Are Wrestling Maniac? Got some news.
Just want to let you guys know that the We Are Wrestling podcast is officially moving to Thursdays starting June 4th.
The We Are Wrestling podcast is moving to Thursdays starting June 4th.
We Are Wrestling podcast is moving to Thursdays.
What's up, We Are Wrestling? We Are Wrestling is going to move to Thursdays starting June 4th.
Be ready.
The We Are Wrestling podcast is officially moving days. Instead of Wednesdays at 5 p.m., it's going to be now on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. Tune in. June 4th.
Be there with Donnie, Ben, Danny, and even myself sometimes, your future Thunder champion.
At 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope to see you guys there.
At 6 p.m. EST. Hope to see you guys there. Don't miss it.
6 p.m. I don't need to miss out on an episode.
There's no more excuses. You have enough time to get home, eat your dinner, and join us live.
Cheers.
The We Are Wrestling podcast is taking over YouTube every Thursday starting June 4th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific.
Yo, the We Are Wrestling podcast is moving to Thursday starting June 4th. You already know.
You already know.
Already know, man.
Thursdays starting June 4th, baby, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. We Are Wrestling podcast is moving to Thursdays, which we're excited for the move. But now, with that being said, let's get into our WWE Backlash review, and we'll pretty much flip-flop. I'll start off with the first match. You'll go, and then if we have any comments we want to make, we will. But just to remind all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs, our main event topic this week is going to be about Asuka. So we're not going to dive deep into the whole Asuka thing that happened because some fans do think that she is done with WWE, that she's maybe hanging up the boots and retiring. We'll talk about that in our main event topic, but we're going to talk about Backlash and go over the show, give our thoughts, give our opinion, and then, of course, an overall rating after having at least almost a week to digest everything we saw. So, start things off with Backlash. We had the opening match, Seth friggin' Rollins versus Braun Breaker. What a great opening match to start the show. Great way to set an example to go out there and pretty much say, all right, let's try to top this. And I think overall, these two definitely delivered. Great match. I don't know what Rage is saying about Braun Breaker needing to go to Turkey for his hairline. Looks great to me. But what a great match this was. Great reversals with Braun Breaker going for the spear, Seth Rollins hitting him with the pedigree, and then, of course, Austin Theory, Logan Paul have to interfere to help Braun Breaker win, and that is exactly what happened. Breaker hit him with the spear. 1, 2, 3. Braun Breaker's the winner. I enjoyed this match. This was a great opener.
Yeah, I enjoyed this match, too, and, going into WrestleMania, once news broke that he was going to be cleared and he was going to be making his return either before WrestleMania or a little bit after, I was thinking why wouldn't they want this on one of the biggest stages that they possibly have all year, and seeing how the way WrestleMania was structured, I'm really glad that this match did not happen because these guys deserved a lot better than fucking 10 minutes and probably wrestling through a fucking commercial break. You know what I mean? Fantastic match. The animosity and the hatred that these two have for each other, on television, whatever, was really showcased in this match. It was very hard hitting, but also fast paced at the same time. Braun Breaker is a fucking menace, bro. That dude is just There's just something unnatural about this.
I don't get Ben's takes when it comes to Braun Breaker.
But he likes Paul London.
Hey, no, there's no hating on Paul London. I love Paul London too. But Braun Breaker is not your generic big guy. And I think like he needs to go back and watch Luther Reigns. He needs to go back and watch Heidenreich. Because I think that he just doesn't remember a lot of these bad big guys.
Who was the fucking
because that is his era. He
Tyson
grew up
Tomko, who was with Christian Cage.
He was all right, but still, Braun Breaker's not one of those generic big guys that's green. Like, he's got it. And I think sometimes, like, you really forget how good certain people are because you don't go back in time and see what it was like in the Ruthless Aggression era because you're thinking, of course, nostalgia, and that's always going to be positive based. So you're going to think about, like in Ben's case, Paul London, Batista winning the world title, John Cena winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 21. Like, you're going to think about those highlights. Yeah. But I think with Braun Breaker, dude, like, I think it's just been a while that since we've had a big guy that's like really green for like people to really say like, okay, he's not bad.
Yep. And like, you know, I know like a lot.
I don't get the hate for Braun Breaker.
I don't either, but like I know one of the major criticisms about this match is like, you know, the botches that we saw, like the Frankensteiner, and then the Frankensteiner again where Seth tried to land on the speed or whatever.
Oh, the Will Ospreay and Seth Rollins comparison.
But like
that's crazy.
That kind of stuff, I don't mind. I actually like, because if you hit things correctly 100% of the time, it looks too choreographed. This legitimately looked like a real fight where these dudes were literally fucking, you know, going at each other. You know what I mean? So like little botches like that, I actually do not mind. Actually, it adds something to the match that I feel like is necessary.
Oh, also quick reminder too, when Seth Rollins had that one botch, Braun Breaker being as good as he is, he did a backflip on him off the ground. Yeah. He fixed that botch. So I don't want to hear people say like it's one person that can. It takes two.
Yeah, 100%.
And I thought that these guys definitely delivered. Great opening match. I do think it is cool to see the IWC though debating now, like actually, because for a while with the Seth Rollins, Will Ospreay comparisons, people have always said Seth Rollins was the better wrestler, but now people are starting to think Will Ospreay's a little bit better in the ring than Rollins. And I love the comparison because both guys are really good at what they do. And also into this, I thought I was Seth Rollins fatigued because like it's just the whole heel vision stuff. He's like tuned me out, but this match brought me back into saying, damn, this is why Seth Rollins is one of the greatest in our generation.
That's why he's in the position that he's in, man.
They killed it.
Absolutely.
I was a fan of it. And even like my live chat was even saying Rage was crazy with his Braun Breaker takes. Yeah. Well, let's see what some of the maniacs here are saying here. We got Josh Toy Show. Braun is the future of WWE. Whoever hates on him needs to restudy him or something, or go back to NXT and watch tape. Rollins kisses more ass. Hey,
you know, Rollins made politics this and that.
Hey, I'm sorry. In pro wrestling, to be at the top, you have to politic, and I will not give shit to any of the big guys for doing that because the business, unfortunately, it is politicking, man.
Rollins still is like one of the best to ever do it. Like everything the dude's accomplished. Like, yeah, you can be like, oh, he got the reason why he became WWE champion and all the championships that he's had is because they wrote in the script, But like regardless, like you can write anything you want on the fucking script, but if you don't have somebody legitimately go out there and execute your vision, then it's just not gonna work. You know what I mean? So like Seth Rollins 100% is like one of the best to ever do it.
Agree. And that's the thing. Shawn Michaels kissed a lot of ass. Hulk Hogan kissed a lot of ass. John Cena kissed a lot of ass. Like you have to in this.
Bro, business. Shawn Michaels was in the Hall of Fame of fucking ass kissing back in the day, especially before he got clean. Jesus
Bret Hart had to. Like that's just the name of the game to get to the top. But that's the thing. At the end of the day, I think them like kissing. Like I don't think about the politics when I think about these larger than life names. I just think about the accomplishments and the things that they've done. And that's the thing. Seth Rollins, man, he is a first-class Hall of Famer, whether you love or hate the guy. He's good at what he does.
Everybody kisses ass, man, whether it's at your job and, you sucking up to the boss to get a raise or, just anything in the job.
All right, there we go. Eric's on the same page as us now. HBK is the king. All right, we'll leave it as that. All right, Danny, I'm going to let you take it away with this next match.
This next match, man, U.S. title. Trick Williams defended against Sami Zayn. I thought this was a really, really decent match. Very hard hitting again. That's one thing about like majority of matches, except for maybe the Danhausen one. That was more of a comedy relief than anything. But like a lot of these matches on this card were like, guys that had a lot of animosity for each other, and they literally went out there to, beat the brakes off each other. We've seen it in Rollins and Breaker. We've seen it in Sammy and Trick. We saw it with Io and Asuka. We saw it with, Roman and Jacob, whatever. So like this was another really, really good match. And I can't believe I'm actually going to say this, and I might get crucified in the comments, but I don't give a shit. As long as he's not overdone and overused, I don't mind Lil Yachty being in Trick's corner because he adds something that I feel like Trick needs. You know what I mean? He's got the star power. He's actually really, really good on the fucking mic. Like the dude can fucking speak. You know what I mean? He's not out there like fumbling over his words and like remembering what to say or coming up with something witty or whatever. Like he just has the charisma. You know what I mean? So I feel like he adds a lot to Trick's overall character. And, Trick, retain the U.S. Like, he's going to be the U.S. champion for a while. Like, this dude is, like, on a trajectory that we've never seen before.
So, overall, with this match, I did think it was a lot better than the WrestleMania match, of course. I do like Little Yachty's placement here with Trick Williams. I do like it a lot. Because obviously we can't get Booker T because he's on commentary on NXT. Killing it. I don't care what anybody says. I love Booker T's commentary.
Shucky ducky quack quack.
But here's the thing about this match. I was tuned out even though the match was good overall. I was tuned out because, like you always say, storytelling, the storylines matter. And I'm sorry. The gingerbread man. Everything on SmackDown was awful. Gingerbread stuff is some of the worst shit we've ever seen on WWE programming. So, of course, I was tuned out of this entire thing. And then them using AI, like putting the gingerbread man in freaking WrestleMania 1.
Bro, I actually laughed my fucking ass
so
off at
fucking
that.
Stupid.
It was dumb, but it was fucking hilarious at the same time.
Garbage.
Garbage. My favorite thing about the whole gingerbread man thing is making Sammy go fucking like crazy. Cause you see all these people like backstage mourning fucking gingerbread man, and he's just sitting there like, am I going fucking crazy? What is going on around this place?
Well, I bet you thought freaking when Baron Corbin freaking, what do you call it? Handcuffed Roman Reigns to the turn.
The dog food? No, I did not. I did not find that
entertaining.
I did not find that entertaining whatsoever.
Well, I can tell you this right now. If Vince McMahon was writing this shit with the gingerbread man, you would have a different opinion.
I didn't like the gingerbread man situation, but I like the fact that it's bringing out something in Sami Zayn that we haven't seen before. I feel like he's the kind of reaction that Sami Zayn is getting. I feel like WWE is going to have no choice but to turn the guy heel. He's almost becoming what Cena was, like where half the audience fucking absolutely despises the ground this guy walks on, but yet you have this small, this small group of people, whatever, that really are still, rocking with him. And I
get it. I get where people come from with Sami Zayn, but at the same time, I just think that he's been overdone at this point, and I feel like he could benefit with a new look. He could benefit taking a break, but he is getting the reactions, which is why I see that this is why he's not taking a break or anything. I get it, but at the same time, I'm just sabbied out because it's like we start to make steps forward, and I'm excited, especially when he had the program with Drew McIntyre going for the championship, and then he takes 2 steps forward just to take 5 steps back going after the United States Championship again.
Yeah.
That's my problem with Sami Zayn. Like, I like the guy. I've always been a fan of him going all the way back to ROH as El Generico. Love Sammy to death. But I just think that he's been just overdone, and I just really want a little bit of a break from him.
Yeah, but, I
or
understand
at least when you build the momentum up and he is right there at the finish line, instead of having him freaking go back 5 spaces on the game board, let him finish. Let him get the world championship. Let him do something. You see, that's my problem. Like, I'm tired of, like, rooting for this guy just for him to go all the way back to start.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I stand, which is why this match I just didn't care for because of the gingerbread storyline. Like, I thought I would have put other people in this spot, even though the match was good.
Yeah, I definitely understand. I just, just like the whole, Sammy getting driven crazy because of this whole thing. I don't know. I just found that part entertaining. But like everything else, fuck it.
All right. Well, moving on to the next match we have here on the card. We have The Miz and Kit Wilson versus Danhausen and his mystery partner, which is Minnie Hausen.
El Torito from AAA.
Yeah, no, El Torito, man. A part of the Los Matadors back in like the mid 2010s, which I thought that was kind of cool. Like getting like at least El Torito doing this role.
People are hating on this match, man, but I found this fucking like probably like, bro, like I can't even put into words, man. Like I had so fun watching this.
Well, I'll go over some of the highlights in this match. Of course, Kit Wilson getting his kick in on Minnie Hausen. And then Minnie Hausen, because of course El Torito has always been a great luchador. So like he hit the spots perfect, everything on cue. And then overall, like it was just a fun little comedy match. And I think like it just makes the overall show better. I just think that WWE has to stop with these big surprises because you already know how the IWC is going to be. They're going to be let down. And then guess what? The show momentum, you watching it, you're not going to enjoy it like we did. Because for me personally, I went into this with very low expectations on who the mystery partner was going to be. I knew it was going to be something funny. It was going to be a comedy character. It was going to be Elton Prince, or it was going to be Jelly Roll, or it was going to be something like this with the Minnie Hausens. The cloning machine, I got a kick out of this with all the Minnie Hausens chasing Kit Wilson. I enjoyed that part of the super what the hell is this finisher called? I'm having a brain fart.
Skull crushing finale.
Oh, dude, the super skull crushing finale was great.
Bro, the funniest fucking thing in this match to me was I think it was Danhausen and the Miz were fighting in the ring or whatever. It might have been Minnie Hausen. But Wade Barrett's commentary. Oh my God, they're biting me. They're biting the wires. They're biting the wires.
Oh, one jumped on him.
Bro, I lost it.
And of course, Danhausen and Minnie Hausen win. I think we all knew that was going to happen. Overall, like I thought it was funny. I enjoy the Danhausen stuff so much on WWE programming right now. Probably the only reason I'm still watching this product besides our main event, which we'll get into in a moment. But overall, I enjoyed this. I just wish that I don't know, there was something missing here.
One thing that I do want to bring this to the table for discussion purposes, and like I understand where people are coming from. People are starting to say that they're sort of getting wore out with the whole Danhausen thing because like he takes up a lot of television time. Like you have 3 hours of SmackDown and he's on like 3 or 4 segments.
Give me 5.
Well, I mean that's the thing. Like
Give me 6.
like. That just proves if you're utilizing Danhausen like this, that just proves that you don't have much talent on that show to really like disperse the time. You know what I mean? Like they release so much talent. Majority of the talent they release was SmackDown people. You know what I mean? Except for Kairi Sane, I think. But like, I do understand where people are coming from. But Danhausen is a fucking joy to watch. The guy is like
I don't get.
I've been saying this for weeks, and I even brought it up on one of the past episodes. I was like, this is WWE's perfect time. R-Truth is at the last leg of his career. Let's face it, this might be his last contract. Make this guy go out on a serious note. You have Danhausen now who can sort of take over the whole responsibility of being that comedic character. We already know how great of an in-ring performer R-Truth is. Like, wean him off of this comedy gimmick and let him, like, you know, take his last bit of his career on a more serious note. Like, let him go for the U.S. Championship. Let him go for, you know, maybe
Ron
even gets a shot at the
supposed to get when he came back last year.
Maybe he even gets the world title, or, like, you know, maybe he even has a feud with Cody for the WWE title. Like, you know, this is his last contract. He spent a lot of time in WWE over the last 10, 12 years as, like, the comedy relief. You have that now in Danhausen. So I think they need to switch roles. Danhausen does the comedy. R-Truth be's taken as a serious competitor. Because, yes, the guy's funny, but he is, like, I wouldn't want to fuck with him. Like, the dude he can wrestle circles around everybody on the fucking roster.
I will say this, man. I love everything Danhausen's doing, and I'm sorry, but I will take an extra Danhausen segment if I don't have to deal with the fucking gingerbread man.
I'm surprised we didn't get fucking Danhausen at the fucking funeral.
I would have actually watched that segment if that was the case. I don't know. I don't understand why people are getting fatigued with Danhausen, because it's literally like one of the only good fucking things right now on WWE programming. That honestly, the only reason I look forward to watching SmackDown is for what's Danhausen gonna do?
It's because everything else besides Danhausen on the show is shit when it shouldn't.
Exactly. But also, I want to point out too, one of the things I did like about this match was it reminded me of New Gen WWF. I'm an old school wrestling fan, and this reminded me of Survivor Series 94. The Clowns Are Us versus the Royal Family. Jerry the King Lawler and a bunch of mini Lawlers versus Doink and a bunch of Dinks. Like, I really got a kick out of this match. Like, I enjoyed it a lot more than I think a lot of other people
will say.
Just stop hyping these mystery partners.
Thought they tried that with the Ron Killings. Yes, but they didn't really go anywhere with it. They're like,
I'm sorry, but you have to give it more than 4 weeks. Yeah. They only gave it 2 weeks.
I will say, I don't know which one it is, but I was scrolling on X today while I was in the process of doing laundry, and I came across a video. It was one of the mini houses, and it was like a video of him, like, from, like, childhood up into now. And I think one of the captions was like, you'll never make it in WWE. And, you know, it's him as a kid growing up with, like, you know, this disease or whatever that he has, because, like, you know, dwarfism is a disease. And obviously, you know, people don't expect, you know, being that size to make it in, you know, the land of the giants, so to speak. But, like, it was like, you never make it to the WWE. And then, you know, at the end of the video, it's him, you know, standing with Danhausen, you know, at I think it was at one of the dudes at WrestleMania. I don't know if it was one of these specific ones, but it was one of the guys at WrestleMania. Like,
I did see the video.
That video was great.
Really good video. But Eric here says it best. Danhausen is fun. What's really sad is this is the best they could do right now. And I think that's kind of where I stand with it too. I always say don't fix something that's not broken. What Danhausen's doing right now is not broken.
Did you hear what
this going?
Did you hear what Braun Strowman said? Somebody on Twitter was like, you know, we should get Obafemi versus Braun Strowman in a match, and Braun Strowman quote tweeted him. It was like, they couldn't afford me.
Yeah, now he's making a lot of money because of that TV show.
There might be some bad blood between him and WWE.
Well, if you got released 3 times, I think that there might be a little bit of bad blood there.
I can't wait for his show to come back, because not only am I a fan of it, but that means SmackDown's gonna be going back to 2 hours.
All right, well, getting into the next match here, I'll let you take this one away.
Io and Asuka. This match was one of the matches that we were hoping to get at WrestleMania with obviously Kairi Sane was heavily involved in this story. And, I kind of wish we did get it at WrestleMania that we could have got somewhat of a payoff. But like these are two of the best female performers on the planet, bar none. There's not many people, women, men included, that can wrestle like Io and Asuka can. Very hard hitting match. They know each other so well because they have that history with each other. You know what I mean? And obviously Io Sky won, and everybody was speculating after the match. I went on Twitter after the show, and people are saying, this is Asuka's last match. It was even in like people's YouTube titles, like when they did their fucking reviews of the show, Asuka's last match ? Because like the way she left, like she was crying, she was hugging Io. It was a very emotional moment for her. You could tell that like these two have gone through so much together, and this was a very meaningful moment for both of them. And she just walked off, and like as she was walking up the ramp, she was like waving bye to everybody, blowing kisses or whatever. And then fast forward to Monday, and I do want to bring this up because it's like it's involved with what's happening in the story. Asuka pretty much said backstage to Io that you're taking over from me now, and she took her bags and just walked out of the building, and that was the last
passing of the torch.
Obviously we'll get more into it during the main event or whatever, but like this was a very I feel like I would have appreciated, like if I would have known something like this was gonna happen, or like there was a potential for Asuka to potentially leave WWE for a little bit after this match, I would have appreciated this match a little bit more, because like I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything until after the show. Because they even brought it up.
Nobody knew, because Asuka keeps a lot of this stuff private.
They even brought it up on the post show or whatever that WWE does after their PLEs. Big E, I think, was like, if this is Asuka's last match, et cetera, whatever he said. But like, I don't feel like I appreciated this match. Like, I knew I was seeing something spectacular, but I don't think I really like just paid attention and appreciated it as much as I probably should. But this was a phenomenal match.
I went into this with very high expectations. I knew that both of these women had the potential of having a match of the night. They killed it. They proved why they should have been on that WrestleMania card, because it does suck for anybody that's on the current roster to not make it on the Mania card, the Super Bowl of sports entertainment.
Yeah,
I do think Io and Asuka went out there and they put on such a classic. I wish that Kairi Sane was still in the storyline, because you see, that's where, like, when we get to the end of this, the reason my rating is where it's at is because there was just a lot of holes and a lot of bad storytelling, but these matches delivered. I enjoyed all these matches in their own way. And I did appreciate this a lot, because seeing Asuka get emotional and stuff, I had a feeling like they both went out there and they both knew that, like, this is why we should have been on WrestleMania 42. They had something to prove. And Asuka is usually very interesting when there's a lot of mystery, when there's a lot of suspense behind her, which is why, like, when she made that return at the Royal Rumble that year that we all marked the fuck out in my living room for, it meant something, and she had a lot of momentum. NXT, she really stood out from all the other women wrestlers at that time. Goes on to having a long title run. So, like, when Asuka has
512 days, I think, was her title run.
So, like, her having this, like, momentum is pretty fucking scary, because I do think that now she's going to take this break, and we're going to get into more of it in our main event topic.
Yep.
But if she does come back, I think that she's going to be in a very good position in the women's division.
I think
so too.
Me. I think so too. And like I said,
it has been a while since we've gotten a babyface Asuka, and I feel like she works better as a babyface, just like Io.
I do too. But like, I'm not saying I didn't appreciate this match. Like I knew, like, you know, these women went out there and put on a clinic or whatever. But like from an emotional standpoint, like had I known that Asuka may be leaving for a while, I probably would have appreciated it a little bit more, because all that anybody was talking about was, oh, there's potential for Kyrie to at least show up, sign a 1-day contract back with WWE, potentially show up.
I knew
And,
that
you know,
wasn't
have
happening.
like some kind of conclusion to the story. You know, that's all I saw on Twitter the day of the show. So like, you know, it was a fantastic match. If you guys have not seen Backlash, at least go back and watch this match, because like these two women went out and fucking put in some work, and probably one of the best women's matches I've seen in a long time.
For sure. And I'm excited to see where all of this is going to go. Both women showed up, and hopefully now they don't miss another WrestleMania. Like they went out there and they proved why they should be.
I'm actually glad
on the PLEs.
I'm actually glad, knowing the way that the matches were structured, and I don't think there was one match besides maybe the main event that went longer than fucking 10 minutes. I'm actually really glad this match was not on WrestleMania, because they would have just fucking ruined it.
Yeah, but like any wrestler still wants to be on that card, and that's why, like, I'm saying these two women knew that they were going to get this time, and they had to go out there and they had to prove why they deserved to be on a WrestleMania.
Did you notice something though? I feel like WWE listened to a lot of the criticism when it comes to WrestleMania, because on WrestleMania, like we had short matches, you know.
Oh yeah, dude. The first thing
11.
I said on my live watch along was, where's all the sponsored logos on the mat? Like there wasn't as many. You had the WWE logo actually in the middle, and then you had, I think there was like the Saudi Arabia logos like on like each quarter, which to me, like, let's keep it that way.
But like, you know, all the matches were like maybe 10, 11 minutes long. There was no backstage interviews. There was no video packages hyping up the matches or whatever. Like there was none of that. You know, it was all sponsorships and ads and shit like that.
Yeah, which
on
Backlash,
Backlash, we had backstage interviews. Trick got interviewed before his U.S. title defense. We had video packages for Danhausen, video packages for Sami Zayn. I think every match pretty much had a fucking video package. You know what I mean? So like, you know, it's almost like they listen to the online criticism, you know, because let's face it, they all have fucking burner accounts and they all scour the internet to see, you know, because they like being praised for what they do. And, you know, when everybody was like, WrestleMania was fucking shit this year, you know, they changed a lot. And I like Backlash more than I liked WrestleMania this year. And that is fucking insane to say, because it should never be like that.
Agree. But let's move on now to John Cena's announcement here, which I thought this was going to be a club. I thought this was going to be a club WWE thing.
I did too.
But he made the announcement that we're going to be getting a John Cena Classic. This is going to be something similar to what AEW does with a lot of their tournaments, like the Owen Hart Cup, the Continental Classic. It's going to be something similar to that, except the John Cena Classic, where an NXT guy will be going against somebody that's on the main roster from Raw or SmackDown. I do like this, but I'm sorry, at the same time, I don't. Because this is something that all the WWE fans shit on for AEW when they do stuff like this. Whether it's an Owen Hart Cup or a Continental Classic or just whatever it is. Like I feel like this is an AEW styled tournament.
I will say, I feel like people shit on it in AEW because Tony Khan does overuse it. He does shit like this.
Okay, but WWE low-key has been overusing tournaments, and Triple H has taken over creative.
I'm not saying he has, but this is a little bit different. But I will say,
it's a double-edged sword.
You know, as far as like, you know, how it's gonna be like fan voted and stuff like that. I don't know how, because John Cena was like,
okay, I can tell you this because I was paying like very close attention to the rules and stuff. So basically, fans are going to get to vote based off the entire night who is the best performer. And that's who's going to get the championship. So let's say Obafemi does face Mason Rook. Let's say Mason loses to Oba, but Mason has a better performance and the fans pick him to win, he can win the championship despite losing. See, that's where I'm tired. You see,
shit.
like,
that is shit.
I just feel like this is, like, I get the idea. I love this idea because I do like that John Cena.
Shit.
I agree, but this is what I'm saying. Why I'm disappointed in the John Cena Classic, because I love the idea of giving NXT guys an opportunity. I love that about John Cena's final match. The entire Saturday Night main event was main roster versus NXT people. It was a nice showdown. I love that. Always loved Survivor Series when they did that. Loved bragging rights when they had a pay-per-view in like the early 2010s. But I just think in general, they have the idea, but I think that they're really doing something AEW would do. And I don't like that because I want both my companies to stand out and do their own things.
And like doing something like this to where it's like fan voted. Like, how are we going to know it's like a legitimate vote? You know what I mean? Like, who's to say like the fans vote for like, you know, say the fans vote for Otis because Otis has like a really good. Not saying this is gonna happen, but
trolls pick Otis just to prove a point.
I don't see how this is gonna happen. So somebody can win the match but still be out of the tournament. You know, like, you know, I'm very iffy on it, and like knowing how WWE likes to control the narrative. Like, at the end of the day, whoever wins is going to be somebody that they want, not what we want. Because they have proven time and time again that they don't give a fuck what the fans want. Because if they did, they wouldn't be doing half the shit that they fucking do.
Agree. They like to insult our intelligence. But I do want to answer this to Angelo. Do we think this was Cena's idea or Triple H's idea? Because Cena has said it's his.
I think it was Cena's for an extent. Like,
this is definitely all John Cena's idea, I think. And because he's had a first-class Hall of Fame career, they want to reward him. They want to, of course, keep him happy, which is why I think they're doing this. Because, of course, Cena sees the value in NXT. He sees the future of the business. And that's why John Cena is the way he is when it comes to stuff, because he wants to leave the business better than he found it. And I like the whole idea of having an NXT versus a Raw guy or a SmackDown guy, or even the women wrestlers. But I just don't like the whole concept of like the Cena Classic. Like, you're going to get a championship similar to like a trophy. I know they did that with Crown Jewel. They've done it with King of the Ring recently. But this is stuff that AEW was doing before.
So is the face going to be like, I heard people talking about this, and like, you know, is Cena gonna like revive like the old WWE spinner belt and like sort of like make that the championship that people win or whatever? It's like,
I believe
is the title gonna be? It's gonna fucking have Cena's face right on the fucking front of it, kind of like the We Are Wrestling title, like,
or farewell belt.
Like, what's it gonna look like? And like, regardless of how it plays out, I think it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be cool, especially seeing a lot of these NXT come ups, you know, get opportunities or whatever against, you know, main roster talent. But at the end of the day, bro, it's not going to be fan voted because whoever wins is going to be somebody that WWE wants and not what we want. So I feel like people are going to just get their hopes up.
And also one more thing I want to point out before we get into our main event match. I think that they should have waited to make this announcement. I felt like they were in panic mode. They saw everybody talking shit about the Club WWE stuff online. Hey, I was one of them. And I think that they decided, all right, I know we don't have this full idea already planned out, but let's just tease the crowd. Cena, go out there and just make them happy. That's what it felt like here. And this kind of brought my rating down for Backlash. Like, I love getting John Cena on these pay-per-views. I actually do like corporate Cena. Looks great in the suit. I love that he's actually keeping his word, not like wearing like his merchandise shirts and jorts. I like that a lot. But this just felt like it was going to be a Club WWE thing, and they totally decided, let's not, like, we have some momentum here. The PLE is actually going better than we thought it was going to, at least like reception-wise. So let's not piss off the people, and let's just talk about this little idea that we probably talked about a couple times at MB.
Yep.
I don't know. It feels like it wasn't fully prepared. This is a Tony Khan noob move, in my opinion.
The only thing is, Cena's better at public speaking, but Yeah, like,
He's
at the
fucking
end of the
pros
day,
pro.
it's going to be cool seeing a lot of these NXT talent, get
I'm excited for
opportunities,
it.
but it's just if you think it's legitimately going to be fan voted, they may put something up on .com to where we can throw in a vote, but at the end of the day, whoever wins is going to be somebody that WWE wants.
Oh, for sure, because they all have plans. Angelo, that makes no sense, though, because what if Rhea was involved? Obviously, everyone would choose her because she's the most popular. Exactly. But now let's get into our main event match here for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns. This has been my favorite program on WWE programming since Raw after Mania, because I didn't expect this to happen, and I thought both guys, they showed up. Jacob Fatu, not only on the mic, proved that he should be in the main event spot, but in this match, he proved it as well. He really stood very strong against Roman Reigns.
He's in the best shape of his fucking life, too.
And this match just felt like everything was perfect. It was just smooth. Reason why Roman Reigns is in the position that he's in.
Yep.
Him and Jacob Fatu, man, I'm just ecstatic with how good this is. Even Jacob kicked out of the spear, too, which was also huge because you don't really get that a lot. But, of course, Roman Reigns, he kind of cheats his way a little bit into winning because he couldn't take down Fatu fully. But, of course, we do see Fatu. The temper has always been a thing. So what does he do? He puts the Tongan grip on Roman Reigns.
The Tongan death grip.
The Tongan death grip on Roman. And then we see all the producers, all the former WWE wrestlers, referees, trying to get Jacob Fatu off of Roman Reigns.
They were even pulling his hair.
Even pulling his hair. Adam Pearce, man. What a great GM he is. And then Jacob Fatu standing tall with the World Heavyweight Championship to end the show. A lot of people were very upset about this because we thought that Zilla Fatu was going to debut. There was others that were saying the Usos should have got involved here. I want to know your thoughts on this with the ending. Risky.
I thought the Usos were gonna get involved, but for the wrong reasons. Everybody assumed that the Usos were gonna get involved to help Roman. I thought the complete opposite. I thought the Usos were gonna end up, turning on Roman because remember, after everything that Roman has put the Usos through, he has yet to apologize. He hasn't apologized to them. So I thought the Usos were gonna turn on Roman and they were gonna align themselves with Jacob Fatu. That's what I thought, and we were gonna have like a Bloodline 2.0 whatever with the head of that faction being Jacob Fatu, a little bit more believable than fucking the MFTs with fucking Solo Sikoa. Great match, phenomenal match. Jacob Fatu is in the best shape of his career. I did for a small glimmer think that maybe Zilla Fatu was gonna end up debuting or whatever.
I didn't see it happening.
It was, it was just, I feel like it was aligned in a way, but also a week prior, he retained his House of Glory championship, and I was like, well, that maybe not, but for the first time ever, he's done a meet and greet in Tampa the day of the show, so he was there.
Well, of course, because his family, this is why, I knew this wasn't going to happen, because he did do a signing, that day, and that's just making as much money as possible, because, of course, the main event of Backlash is Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns, and if you're invested in the bloodline, you're invested in the family, a hardcore fan that's probably listening or watching the We Are Wrestling podcast, you know who Jacob Fatu is, so if you're out in Backlash, of course, you're going to make your way and go meet him. Because you also, I think Jacob Fatu even showed up at the meet and greet too, so fans got to meet Jacob as well.
But the thing is also, over the last several days, Zilla Fatu has been posting a lot of solo videos between him and Jacob Fatu to his YouTube channel, a lot of vlogs or whatever, them working out and them hanging out, really starting
They're
to
family, of course. They're hanging out.
But I haven't seen Jacob Fatu and Zilla hang out like that on the vlog since Jacob came to WWE, since he got signed or whatever. They used to be a tag team or whatever. But it almost seemed like Zilla Fatu was really establishing like, look, me, because I'm sure there's a lot of people.
Oh, Zilla knew what he was doing, Angelo.
I'm sure there's people within the bloodline,
Smart.
within the NY family, whatever. It's not like, oh, every Sunday we see The Rock. You know what I mean? Like, how many people in the NY family fucking like hardly ever see The Rock?
Supper at the tribal chief's house.
You know what I mean? But like, it almost felt like Zilla Fatu in a way.
Everybody
was like,
at the table, acknowledge me.
It just almost felt like Zilla was in a way establishing that relationship because they did, team up on the Indies before Jacob got signed. You know what I mean? And Zilla Fatu is streaming the event that has nothing to do with it because they stream on his YouTube channel even when he's not in fucking town, when he's not there. You know what I mean? It's Zilla's mom and two other guys. You know what I mean?
He's definitely built a pretty good brand outside.
So like him live streaming the event that has nothing to do with it. But like I had a small glimmer of hope. But I've always said this, and people have been asking me, do I think it's the right time for Zilla Fatu to be in WWE? No. Because he's only been wrestling for 3-4 years, going on 4 years. You only have one shot to make a first impression. Once you debut in WWE, and if it goes to shit, that's all people are gonna remember. I don't think Zilla Fatu is quite ready to be thrown in there with the Usos, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, like a lot of these guys that have been at this for fucking 20 plus years. Like the Usos have been in WWE since what, 2008, 2009? You know what I mean? Like that's a long ass time. So I just, Zilla Fatu, he's still relatively green compared to a lot of the bloodline members. You know what I mean? So I had a small glimmer of hope that he was going to debut, but I never had it set in stone that it was going to happen.
I knew it wasn't happening, man. It's not happening yet. We are going to eventually get Zilla Fatu in WWE.
Did you hear what Zilla said, though?
I did, and I want to talk about that. That's where I was going to go into. About Zilla Fatu, somebody was asking him about possibly going to AEW before going to WWE.
He was like, nope.
And he pretty much said, like, WWE pretty much, like, has his heart, and he just doesn't want to be the first member in his family to go down a different route, which I can understand, but at the same time, come on, man, be different.
Yeah.
Stand out. Be different. I think that he has more of a chance of being a bigger success in AEW than he does in WWE. I know it's always been the dream for anybody as a kid. Like, you want a main event, WrestleMania, you want to hold the WWE Championship, all the merchandise, being in the video games, getting the action figures. Of course, everybody wants that. That's what you dream of as a kid. And of course, his dad, Umaga, was a legend in the Ruthless Aggression era. So, of course, he wants to follow his dad's footsteps. So I totally understand it. I'm not going to say, I totally understand, why he would want to go to WWE over AEW. But I don't know, if I was in a big family, man, let's change the cycle up a little bit.
I will say I
stand out, but I get why he's made the decision.
I 100% agree. And because again, this goes back to how toxic pro wrestling fans are. I'm not saying our community and people in the chat or whatever, but most people on fucking X, bro, their fucking toxicity is through the fucking roof. If Zilla would have went to AEW instead of WWE, people would have been like, "Oh, look at this! WWE didn't want to sign another Fatu member, so we fucking had to go to AEW." Blah, blah, blah. They would have just been talking shit about it, and he probably didn't want to fucking deal with that. So I understand.
Like I said, I get why. He wants to go to WWE. I get it. It's loyalty, family. His whole family has been successful in the WWE. I totally understand why. Just at the same time, I've always been somebody who really tries to stand out, and I feel like I could just see more. I see more success for him outside of WWE than in there. But of course, that could be different 5 years from now.
Yeah.
A lot changes in the pro wrestling business. So maybe I'm wrong with my take about him. He shouldn't be closing the door fully on AEW, but at the same time, things change overnight. Like, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So, like, I get it, his mindset. And of course, with like his legendary father being in the WWE and stuff, not really getting to like finish that story because the Umaga character was only there from 2005 all the way to like 2010.
Yeah.
So, like, really wasn't a long time either.
He probably just wants to carry on with his dad's legacy, and his dad's
I
legacy is in WWE.
And I get it. But overall, man, I will say with Backlash, I gave the show a 5 out of 10.
Fantastic.
And I think after reviewing, like, giving it a couple days, because of course I was upset with the finish of the match of the show, I'm probably going to say my final grade for Backlash is probably a 6 out of 10. And the reason being, I'm sorry, on a pay-per-view, a PLE, the only thing that was missing on this show was that surprise factor. And I'm sorry, but I need it all. It needs to be a complete pay-per-view. And this is why AEW, they're on a whole nother level when it comes to these pay-per-views over a WWE PLE. Because here's the thing, the weekly shows, yeah, they're very inconsistent with bad storytelling. But the pay-per-views, I feel like you get the storytelling in there. You get the debuts, you get the returns, you get the surprises. All the matches don't feel predictable. Backlash was very predictable. I literally went 5 for 5 on my predictions, which is why I'm still your champion. I just think in general, the AEW pay-per-views, and it also, like, you're not sitting through friggin' 5-6 minute commercials either in between matches. So I also like that part of it as well. But Backlash was one of the better WWE PLEs, which is why I think me giving it a 6 out of 10 is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I'd probably go 7.5 out of 10. Like, it was a really solid show, and I liked everything that was on the show. There was not one thing on the show to where I was like, oh, I'm bored. Like, is this gonna end? Like, I'm just fucking done with it. Like, legitimately, from the first match all the way to the end of the main event, like, I was like in the edge of my seat. Like, I was like heavily paying attention, like, you know, enjoying everything that I was seeing, including the Danhausen match, whatever, which, you know, it's very polarizing. You know, and to a lot of people, that's a fucking hot take and a half there. But I enjoyed it, man. Like, Backlash, I had more fun watching Backlash than I did both nights of WrestleMania.
I did enjoy night 2 of WrestleMania a lot more than night 1. That's for sure. I did like night 2 of Mania. But
I
now,
did too, but I just like, from an overall show standpoint, because we had backstage interviews, we had video packages, we had like hype going into Backlash. Like, Backlash, to me, I just had more fun watching.
All right, well, with that being said, I think it's time that we get into the We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about the latest headliners, the rumors, the contracts, the controversy, who's pissed off this week, good booking, bad booking. It's time for the We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors.
You fucking mark!
All right, here it is, man. The We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors. And we're going to start things off with a lawsuit. I think we got a couple lawsuit news topics this week. AEW has filed a lawsuit against Thriller TV and its parent company, Thriller Group Inc. The streaming platform owes AEW just under $5 million in unpaid revenue from the pay-per-view sales and from proceeds for AEW Plus. The legal complaint alleges Thriller's TV's parent company used AEW's revenue to fund other businesses, including a social media platform that never took off, rather than paying AEW what it was owed. So I would love to know, Danny, your thoughts on the whole lawsuit here with Thriller and AEW.
I mean, I didn't read too much into it. You know, it was just, I to be 100% truthful, I don't have much to add. It's just like, you know, I know they used to have a partnership, you know, because they used to have the pay-per-views on Triller, and then they didn't have them on Triller anymore, and like, you know, so I honestly don't have much to add on the topic, to be honest with you.
Well, I will keep this one short and sweet here. AEW definitely has the right here to sue Thriller TV. That's fucked up on Thriller's part. And I do think a lot of these independent wrestling promotions also got fucked over as well from Thriller, which is why we're seeing a lot of these promotions like GCW and just other people move on from working with Thriller.
Triller is what it's the platform that has the House of Glory shows.
Yeah, so I think we're going to start to see more of a move away from that, from all these other promotions. And this is something that we're just going to have to keep our eyes on because this is like a brand new lawsuit. So I know this is going to probably take some time. But man, that's crazy to think that like $5 million unpaid revenue. That's crazy. But good for Tony Khan, though, for having a backbone here. And filing
that's no chump change or whatever, but like, for Tony Khan,
still something.
It's still something, but
that's like 2 or 3 contracts at AEW.
But Tony Khan doesn't really seem like he cares about money much, which is why his merchandise is fucking shit, poorly made. When the Lucha Brothers were there, he never fucking made and sold fucking lucha masks or whatever. The fucking the hologram mask that the AW sells is fucking extremely cheap and fucking just it's not that well made or whatever. I don't know. So I don't know. Tony Khan does not seem like he fucking cares about money whatsoever. So this is kind of surprising a little bit.
Yeah, well, we'll have to stay up to date with everything. But
you want to know what I do want to talk about real quick that I don't know if we've covered or if you've covered it on the show?
What's up?
BDE getting involved with Pro Wrestling Revolver and getting away from making people pay for their shows and streaming their shows on YouTube, which is what we said that Ring of Honor should do because it'll bring more eyes to the fucking show and on the superstars that are there, and it'll make the shows must see. That way people can establish, these characters can be established and people know who the fuck they are.
Yeah, I don't know why, there's not enough wrestling companies out there that are utilizing YouTube. One of them that has in 2026, and I gotta give the man his flowers. I feel like I've been marking for him the last couple weeks. Vince Russo with Juggalo Championship Wrestling. He has been utilizing YouTube and using it as a platform to grow that company.
Well, they were doing that before Vince Russo got involved.
Okay, they were, but Russo coming in has made it clear that that's the direction. And it's got people talking. And that's the thing. I don't know why they stopped doing the YouTube thing with AEW, because one of the things that a lot of people loved back in the day, in the early days of All Elite Wrestling, was AEW Dark on Tuesdays. Very popular.
Elevation.
And it was literally a show with just squash matches. And people love that shit. We got so many homegrown AEW guys out of it. One of them being the Acclaimed, because they would wrestle on these darks and dark elevations. So I don't understand why they're not doing all the shows on YouTube. I know they are starting to flirt with it a little bit because Ring of Honor, they do some free shows on there. But I do think their regular weekly television shows, I think you would get more people to tune into the pay-per-views if you had them on Thursdays.
100%. People underestimate the power of YouTube.
This man should be using YouTube more.
People underestimate the power of YouTube, man.
Yeah, I agree. But I do think that they should be utilizing it more. Any promotion out there, if you want to get your name out, it's a free platform, use it. But moving on now to our next We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors. We got an update on the Psycho Stu and Raja Jackson case. Raja Jackson pleaded no contest to 1 felony count of battery with serious bloody injury at the hearing. He also admitted to 2 special allegations, including personal infliction of great bodily injury and engaging in violent conduct. Raja is slated to be sentenced in late June. And the rep of the district attorney's office said that his sentence will be 90 days actually actual county jail, resisting of $81,703.38 and 2 years formal probation. So what's your thoughts on the punishment? Man, these law people, first off, man, these law people, they need to freaking word their shit better, because like that was like a tongue twister and a half.
Yeah. I don't think the prison sentence is long enough. You know, like Raja nearly fucking killed this guy, literally.
By the way, Raja is Rampage Jackson's son. Just out there. UFC.
And
legend.
like I think Rampage has gone on record a couple times saying that he's like had a difficult time with, you know, Raja in the past. And Raja he's a hothead, and he fucking, you know, he does stuff without thinking fully all the time, whatever. So it's not like this is like a new occurrence. It's not like, oh my God, I never thought this was gonna happen. You know what I mean? 90 days. I mean, I guess, you know, you can. I feel like Rampage Jackson. It's obviously nobody's gonna say so, but I feel like money got involved with this, and Rampage Jackson paid a hefty fine to the dude's family, you know, and that sort of like, you know, alleviated, and they probably agreed that the 90-day sentence was good because they got paid, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Psycho Stu and his family, they definitely have been paid, I believe, by Rampage's family. Can't 100% confirm that, but usually in cases like this, that usually is the case.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think 90 days is long enough, but I'm just glad, like, out of all of this, because we can finally put this to rest. I'm just glad that Psycho Stu is still alive. He's breathing. He's doing well, apparently. And I just really hope that he can get back into that ring eventually, do what he loves.
Hopefully, man. But you know, he's probably like,
and hopefully out of this too, Raja Jackson.
Like, has Psycho Stu done any like kind of like interview like since this whole thing happened?
Probably not, because he had to probably wait until the court cases. He probably can't talk about it right now, anyways, because there's a lot of legal stuff involved there. But I just do think, like, I do hope that Jackson's son there, I really do hope that he learned his lesson. I really hope that he does take these next like 90 days that he is going to be locked up for in late June. I hope that he actually learns from it, grows, because at the end of the day, we're all humans. We all make mistakes, and just hopefully he could bounce back from this.
I think after the 90 days, he needs to make a formal apology. You know, obviously.
That would be the first step.
I don't think he's done that, and you know, he needs to maybe take some anger management courses. You know, like I feel like he needs to, you know, realize, if he hasn't realized it yet, like what he did was, you know, fucked up, and he needs to work on making sure it doesn't happen again. I will be right back. Got to check on the kids, and then you know, I will be back momentarily. So you know, talk about the next topic, and I will join you once I get back.
All right. Well, guys, it's just me, the host with the most, Mr. We Are Wrestling himself, the best one, Donnie here. And our next topic is going to be Dark Side of the Ring Season 7. But I am going to wait for Danny on that. So let's see here. What can we talk about here? Man, this is what happens when you're live. Anything can happen. Well, I could remind you guys that if you haven't listened to the We Are Wrestling Podcast Extra, Hulk Hogan Real American Review is out now on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. We also do have a couple vlogs out. We have the New England Fan Fest and WWE Fan Goes to Indie Show Part 2. All up now. We will be having a brand new Blitzkrieg vlog coming out this Friday here on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. And the OG3, myself, Rage, and Danny of the We Are Wrestling Podcast all went to a Blitzkrieg show together, and man, what a great time. What a good time it was. But man, here is the preview though for Dark Side of the Ring Season 7. we could talk about this here. So, according to Variety, Dark Side of the Ring Season 7 will premiere on July 7th, beginning with a 3-part episode on TNA and Jeff Jarrett. And here are the official episodes that are lined up. So we're going to be having a 3-part episode of TNA Wrestling and Jeff Jarrett. We're going to have an episode on Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful himself, big boss man, a guy who's very successful in the 90s. Missy Hyatt, wrestling valet. Necro Butcher versus Samoa Joe. Crazy match back in like the mid 2000s. Zach Gowen, who the We Are Wrestling podcast had on for We Are Wrestling 200, which if you guys haven't checked that interview out, I would go watch it. He's going to have a whole episode on Dark Side of the Ring. And the Renegade, WCW wrestler. Which, Dark Side of the Ring, man, I will say, I love this show. Because the cool thing about Dark Side of the Ring is you get a different perspective on somebody's take. Like for the years, a lot of people in the whole Owen Hart death sided with Brett over Martha, who's Owen Hart's wife, the mother of Owen's children. A lot of people sided with just Brett, but Dark Side of the Ring did a whole episode honoring Owen Hart, and Martha finally got to share her side of the story, and it was very emotional. So I love that Dark Side of the Ring, like, you do get a different perspective on the stuff that is happening. All right, well, Danny, I was just letting the We Are Wrestling Maniacs know our next topic. Gave them a little bit of a glimpse of Dark Side of the Ring Season 7, which I do have the 7 episodes that are lined up. And it is going to start off with a 3-part episode of TNA Wrestling and Jeff Jarrett. So what are your what do you know the whole lineup for the Season 7, or?
I don't know the full lineup. I know TNA was one of them. I know
so we'll go
Zach
we'll
Gowen,
go over them. We'll go over them one by one. So there's going to be a 3-part episode to start off Season 7 with TNA Wrestling and Jeff Jarrett. I believe Jeff Hardy is going to be involved in this, because I know Matt Hardy was talking about this on his podcast, and they're basically going to be talking about like the good and the ugly, the dark side of TNA Wrestling. I think Jim Cornette is going to be in it, Vince Russo. So there's going to be a lot of key names that are going to be talking about TNA Wrestling and Jeff Jarrett.
Do you think Jeff Hardy's really going to want to be involved with it, though, seeing as he's assigned TNA talent? And
it's his way for closure. I think that's why he's doing it.
I guess.
But I think that this is going to be really good. I'm excited that like we do have like pretty much that like this is what the whole season's going to be based off of. Like they want it, like they're building the season around TNA Wrestling and Jeff Jarrett.
I will say though, like I wasn't like a weekly watcher around that time, whatever, but obviously I do remember Jarrett starting TNA or whatever, and then it got took over by Dixie Carter. It didn't seem like that much of a dramatic story, like outside of like some things happening, like Jeff Hardy's drug use and stuff like that. But like, it didn't seem like it was that. It wasn't like the Benoit murders, or it wasn't the whole Eddie Guerrero situation. It wasn't the plane ride from hell where there was SA involved. Like, so I don't know how this is gonna work. There's probably a lot.
There was a lot of dirt. There's a lot of dirt, man, in the old TNA days. That I could definitely tell you, being a fan during this time. There's a lot of crazy shit that's happened like through the years with TNA, and I'm sure if you go onto YouTube and like you search up like dark side of like TNA, like you'll see a lot of fucked up shit that has happened through the years. So I'm kind of excited to like see like how they're going to do this.
I'm not a watcher of Dark Side of the Ring, and I've told you this a couple times or whatever. Just like nothing against it. I think that the producer whatever do phenomenal work. It's just too depressing, man. Like it's all about like, fucking like people dying, overdoses, and like fucking like family tragedies, like the Von Erichs and playing right from. It's just like I don't want to be like in a depressive mood. So I haven't like the only episode I think I've ever watched of Dark Side of the Ring has been the plane ride from hell. That was, not that depressing, but like it's just I don't typically watch this kind of stuff, but I will watch the TNA episode, and I might even watch the Zach Gowen episode just because we had Zach on the show. He's a really cool guy. If you guys haven't seen that episode, go back a couple weeks ago and watch it. Fantastic interview that we conducted. But yeah, I'm not a typical viewer of Dark Side of the Ring.
So. All right. Well, we also have Mr. Wonderful Big Boss Man, somebody you're familiar with the
Big Boss Man. That was a tragedy, man. Like he I don't know, like, what kind of dark stuff that was going on around in his life, whatever. But in 2003, like, it was his birthday, I think. He went to take a nap on the couch and he just never woke up. He ended up taking a nap and having a heart attack in sleep, and that's what killed him. So
and then also situation. Then also we have Missy Hyatt, former valet. Then we also have a match here that they're going to be doing a dark side of Necro Butcher versus Samoa Joe, which I don't know too much about, so I'm kind of excited to see this.
I don't know anything about that. Zach
Gowen, of course, which the story ends in a happy way, but you're going to basically get a whole like biography talking about his life, his struggles, the highs, the lows. I think that's going to be a really good watch. And then the last one is the Renegade in WCW, which I'm not too familiar with either.
Yeah,
that's the thing I do like about Dark Side of the Ring, and I was telling them this before you came back. I like that we do get these different perspectives, and it's a good way for closure because a lot of these family members who lost a mother or lost like a father in the business to drugs or alcohol or just a tragedy.
Yep.
This is their way of getting closure, and also at the same time, Dark Side of the Ring. I think the producers do a really good job at honoring the wrestlers that they're talking about. Like I personally enjoyed the Chris Candido episode because they really did like talk about like the highs a lot, and they really showcase how talented he was.
Did they ever do an episode on Chris Canyon? That was a tragic situation, man.
Wait, Chris who?
Chris Canyon. He was in WCW. He was like he was gay, he was secretly gay.
Oh, they did do an episode of Dark Side of the Ring on him. Yes.
Yeah, around that time, like, he had a lot of stuff going on or whatever, and like, he and his friends ended up finding him hanging in his house or whatever, like tragic situation. But
yep, they talked about that there. But Dark Side of the Ring, if you guys want to watch season 7, it's going to be premiering on July 7th, beginning with a 3-part episode of TNA Wrestling and Jeff Jarrett's story.
That's my wife's birthday, July 7th. So happy birthday.
Well, Dark Side of the Ring is available on Vice, or if you have Amazon Prime, you can buy it there. Plenty of other streaming services that you'll be able to get this on. But
I'd 100%. We'll talk more about this, but like, I'd be down to fucking do like a 3-part review of the TNA episode if you're down.
I am thinking about doing a review on season 7 because I can't do my Raw and SmackDown reactions anymore. So I am looking for more content here. But Danny froze yet again. Wow, what a professional this guy is, huh? All right, well, I'm going to let Danny figure out his stuff. With that being said, let's get into our main event topic, which, by the way, if you haven't heard, the We Are Wrestling podcast is moving to Thursdays starting June 4th. Are you tired of being in a rush after working a 9-to-5 job just to catch the We Are Wrestling podcast live?
Hey, yo, where the hell is everybody?
Sometimes we lose track of time. Hey, we're wrapping up.
It's a new era of the We Are Wrestling podcast.
What's going on, We Are Wrestling Maniac? Got some news.
Just want to let you guys know that the We Are Wrestling podcast is officially moving to Thursdays starting June 4th.
The We Are Wrestling podcast is moving to Thursdays starting June 4th.
We Are Wrestling podcast is moving to Thursdays.
What's up, We Are Wrestling? We Are Wrestling is going to move to Thursdays starting June 4th.
Be ready.
The We Are Wrestling podcast is officially moving days. Instead of Wednesdays at 5 p.m., it's going to be now on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. Tune in.
Be there with Donnie, Ben, Danny, and even myself sometimes, your future Thunder champion.
At 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope to see you guys there.
At 6 p.m. EST. Hope to see you guys there. Don't miss it.
6 p.m. I don't need to miss out on an episode.
There's no more excuses. You have enough time to get home, eat your dinner, and join us live.
Cheers.
The We Are Wrestling podcast is taking over YouTube every Thursday, starting June 4th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific.
Yo, the We Are Wrestling podcast is moving to Thursday starting June 4th. You already know.
It's time for the We Are Wrestling main event topic. And we talked about her a little bit in our Backlash review, but there's been a lot of speculation going on with what's next for Asuka. And apparently, Asuka is going to be taking some time off, according to Fightful. This has been planned for a while and is not related to the recent cuts. Asuka's situation appeared to be a mystery to the locker room and to a number of people around the creative process. One thing that was firmed was that everyone spoken with does not believe she had her final match. According to PW Insider, there was a story making the rounds among some in WWE that Asuka was returning to Japan for an extended period to handle a family matter that will not be disclosed. That is not yet confirmed accurately. My question to you is, what do you think is next for Asuka? Because we did see a lot of emotions running down her eyes during that match with Io Sky afterwards. And then, of course, on Monday Night Raw, we get the backstage segment, the hug, and then we see Asuka with her bags just walking out of the arena. So what do you think is next for Asuka? Do you believe these reports?
Do I believe? Part of me does. My original thought process when like all this was happening was, I thought it was a similar thing to New Day, and like I even discussed it with you personally. Like I was like, like what are the odds that, because I know she signed a 4-year contract, which will take her into 2028, I believe. But like, who's to say, maybe TKO wanted to, redo her contract, re-sign her or whatever, and like, for less money, and maybe she was like, no, I don't want to do that. So who's to say it wasn't like gonna be like a New Day situation all over again? But I mean, part of me believes it.
Yeah, so as of right now, I am looking at WWE.com with the superstars, and Asuka still is in the active roster page. I do think that it's probably going to be a break. I just feel like the emotions were just because she is going to be taking time away from what she does, and that's professional wrestling. And we do know that a lot of international stars, especially Japanese wrestlers, they love this art. They love this sport. And I just think Asuka, like, it just hit her because she was living in the moment. Something that, like, a lot of wrestlers don't really do in the business ever. And I think with Asuka, she was just living in the moment and, like, especially getting to be in the ring with somebody who she adores, somebody who she respects a lot, somebody who she's had a great working relationship with and probably has a great relationship outside of the ring with. It just felt right because timing is everything. And I do think that this isn't the last that we've seen Asuka, because I was even saying it. Like, I really think that she is going to end up probably coming back and then going after maybe the Women's Intercontinental Championship or maybe a mid-card title, because I thought that that was the direction that we were going to go in eventually with Asuka anyways. So I do think that she'll come back. She'll get a massive pop as a babyface. Next thing you know, she'll end up going for, I think, the Women's Intercontinental title or something at some point.
I mean, hopefully this is not the end for her. But like, with my speculation, like, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. I mean, if they're willing to allow Kofi and Xavier, who will be like one of the most beloved tag teams in the entire fucking company, if they're willing to, downgrade their pay and let them walk, like, who's to say they wouldn't do that to fucking somebody like Asuka? So, like, it wouldn't surprise me if we find out more details as time passes to where, like, maybe that legitimately was a thing that happened, but WWE obviously doesn't want to seem like the bad guy over the situation.
That is true. But it's unfortunate that, like, it all just randomly happened like this. Because at the end, like, when she hugged Io, like, I was hoping, like, oh, shit, here we go. Like, we're going to get, like, a babyface run with Asuka. Maybe Io is going to focus on getting the Women's World Heavyweight Championship, while Asuka was going to go focus on Becky Lynch, and we were going to get a program there, because they've kind of teased that a little bit. And I think that Asuka, like, holding a mid-card title would be so beneficial for the women's division. And I think she could bring some prestige, like, either with the United States or Intercontinental title.
Yeah, I think she can too, you know.
But we'll have to wait and see what happens here. I do think when, like I said this before, but like when there's this mystery, this suspense behind Asuka, things get really interesting. And I do feel like if she does come back to WWE after this extended break, because I do feel like I do believe these reports to be true.
I mean,
and I think that she is going to, a lot of people are going to actually give a fuck about what Asuka is doing.
I mean, she could have had a death in the family. You know, somebody could be sick. You know, there could be a plethora of situations. You know what I mean? So, like, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that could be, you know, true or whatever. But also, you can't really rule out the fact that maybe TKO wanted to, you know, rework the contract a little bit for less money. You know, because they're all about saving a dollar nowadays.
That is true. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm sure a lot more stuff will come out because this, of course, happened just this past week. So we really don't know all the stuff that's coming out.
We'll probably know more within the next couple of weeks. Next time me and you are here together, we'll probably have a lot more information. We can go more in depth.
For sure. But I do just wish the best for Asuka, whatever it is that's happening, because she's such a super talented wrestler. And what she does, that match with Io just reminded me of like what I loved and what I missed about Asuka, because she really went in there and like, yeah, she did like work as a heel in the beginning of the match, but then like we got to see a little bit of that NXT Asuka that we haven't got to see in years.
Yep.
So like this mystery, this suspense, like I'm very excited to see what's going to happen next with her, because when she does have this excitement behind her, the sky is the limit. And I love that she put Io Sky, like, put her over on the way out, because this sets Io Sky up for success, which I feel like she's probably going to be the one, realistically, to take the belt off of Becky.
I could definitely see that. Everybody that's watching this, I highly, 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 highly recommend you guys go back and rewatch that, or either watch for the first time or rewatch the match between Io and Asuka from Backlash on Saturday. Because I mean, if you want to know anything about women's wrestling, man, like that match, they put on a fucking clinic. So
they did. Well, Danny, is there anything else before we close off this week's episode?
No, I mean, I think we covered everything. I appreciate you guys joining us. Follow me on social media, X, Instagram. I'm less than 200 followers away from 5K on Instagram, so I appreciate you guys for that. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, Danny Huckins PW, because I will be live for Friday Night SmackDown and obviously for future shows, Monday Night Raw, Double or Nothing, you know, fucking Clash in Italy, all that shit, man. I'll be live on my channel. So make sure you guys go on over and subscribe. The link will be in the description.
A lot of additional content over on Danny Huckins PW, but hope you guys enjoyed another episode of the We Are Wrestling podcast. We got lots of awesome content here on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. A couple things that we can plug. The podcast is going to be officially moving to Thursdays live starting June 4th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. And then, of course, we got WWE Fan Goes to Indie Show Part 2. If you guys haven't checked this vlog out, it's a great watch. Great watch. And then, of course, we have the brand new vlog, the New England Fan Fest 11, where I got to meet Vince Russo himself. Demolition. I got to meet British Bulldogs Kid and so many more. Got to meet a lot of you We Are Wrestling Maniacs as well in the vlog. But also, we do have a brand new Blitzkrieg vlog coming out this Friday with the OG3. Myself, Danny, and Rage going to a wrestling show together for the first time, just us three in a long freaking time with Chris
fun,
Legend,
man.
of course. So stay tuned for that vlog. It'll be coming out this Friday. Just got to do some final touches. And then we do have the brand new We Are Wrestling is on Real shirts available now on ProWrestlingTees.com. And we do have our Real American review. Rage and myself, we did a We Are Wrestling Podcast Extra reviewing this, and Danny and I are going to be doing the Shawn Michaels one next week. I just finished the documentary, and we're going to be doing a nice little extra on that sometime next week. So stay tuned for that. But to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, if you enjoyed this, smash that like button now. We appreciate all of you 18 people that are still here with us in the live chat. This was a stacked episode, like Danny said in the beginning of the show. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already and you're listening to this, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you're listening to us, please pull over your car, give us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download this episode and give us a follow. Really helps. We are trying to get monetized on the audio stuff like we are with the YouTube. But if you guys are not subscribed to the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel where you get the most premium content, we don't have a paywall. There's no Patreon for all this additional content you're getting. We have vlogs. We have reactions. We have hot takes. We have live watch-alongs for all the WWE PLEs and AEW pay-per-views. And we also have a live podcast every Wednesday, soon to be Thursdays, where you get to interact in the live chat for free. We recommend you guys to hit that subscribe button now. Turn on the post notifications. The link's down in the description box below. You can go follow We Are Wrestling over on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok for more additional content, wrestling news, clips from all of our content. All the links down below. Danny already plugged his stuff. I might as well plug mine. If you guys are into wrestling figures, toy hunts, and you guys want to see more behind my area, man, Best One Studios, so much content I'm doing over on my toy page, Best One Donnie. You can go subscribe to that. All the links are down in the description box below. But of course, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we are taking over, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.